sɛdeɛ nanka yɛnim no ka amammuodie yɛkɔtoa baa de wobɛwini wawini de ɔlusu fine mokɔ parliament normally majority and the minority normally that's how it is always like yɛbɛnya minority and as yɛbɛnya majority na ɛnka opposition die responsible opposition die mo dandane aban mo kaakai no ɛsɛ mutimi tia no kora mutimi tia aban na nka makase mu shape formulation of policies kakra na masa a play watchdog role kakra so ɛwɔ amamuom na so ene NDC minority group we our parliament we led by Honorable Haruna Drusu na papa asma wakan die because me fere ma I'm telling you say wutimi de musa si ubo say an Ghana fo mu mpene yen yaba yenie enkofo se yenyade hwe yenyade sei yenyade kra ne yen yetimi de ensasi abu say aban butai odi si nanim say wo pesika dodo bi enka ja boman ho bra e de atua teacher fo ka e de atua police fo ka e de atua soldier fo ka e de be street light e de bia to CCTV abokrom no bi bokro no ana obi konya accident a yetima hwe bi kura efiri Haruna Drusi say Ghana fo nyina emmo mo nsem emma NDC fo say omo na aban susuye papa won tim so opesika de aye no omo antem sika dodo nyina ama eti omo ya ade no no ei sa ene ebo voice no mesa ebo voice ba ko bi US president President Joe Biden ensem a work efa economy ho ensem a work fa sedie ewiase nyina ho kire no Joe Biden president yebetenika na busa for mo kai papa bi so fe no Gordon Brown former exchequer of the Bank of England just a former finance minister ewo England no Gordon Brown ono so aka bibia fa food shortage ho aka fuel prices ho wasaka bia sa fa inflation ho etinenso yebesa edi ho enkomo kakra and then I said busa joma ha my voice be the best abo mejidi se de ko abo ha no dada na o se tire bi ono ti be na bon ti be ka se an ababo be se bebre nsu ehu de omode ye joma ha ma de busa sa question no meanwhile bra wo joma ha ma wo ye president wo se se ebusa wo sa asem de oti kwa apai eye sentrofo mu adwuma na sika bia wo gi wo Ghana bia no wo gi Ghana dim na ko parliament it so be person chechire mu no de a wonko parliament ko busa sa wo di enko parliament ko busa baba president Kufu Addo so di ya ye ma wo fa wo kokroboti ko senation no ko busa rasem sa etabusafo e ba mo bi akwa once again na ya cho say high boiling point ye di nkomo kakra ye bedi enkomo bebre na enanwumre papa bi yes ababa 5:45 eno frame na mini di ko lawyer panimu pa enna ye didi Ghana nkomo nsema ekokoso anu ka che me say boiling point was say a therapeutic value bi man therapeutic che say eye duro mano na otie was otie national agenda no pa na say brada eni ya wada dia was minu ya pacho eye double eye mame ne meni agye na koma bafom because he ntwantro no kretrodo ne yeka enti no ebusafo amuti de bia no mo na motivate yen ematem bia ne timisa better say no na 2 months ago me can sem bi say parliament of today and your parliament of yesterday parliament here was here parliament here was here 137 plus 1 for MPP and yes our parliament na wo horoma na MPP 169 no enye bia difference abam enunti and especially with Honorable Baben as the speaker. Difference up say MPP ni and speaker of parliament. And nanka emu achemien 137 plus 1 for MPP. Enka esida hadwin bebre. But wait ye 137 plus 1 for MPP. And the speaker is an NDC person. Yeah, clearly what shows so your NDC ni crop poche will be ample. Now wo MPP ni ya to abama as member of parliament. As member of parliament. Na eto de bi na mo beko parliament a ye be hwehwemu ye humo. Na ebi kasa oba frena smese woma wasemeba wonu wase won kan obeba wo man speaker atenase ne ya chochodi awie afa woni ho mame ka chemum especially MPP for am members of parliament adwuma na monta anko no mo ha ban no na kai hu se enya kura no no MPP member of parliament wa ban wo party wa ban mu, and I can tell you are better off so ye MP na wunya minister na wa ban the wa ban mu a wo party na wa ban mu a eye danya you are better off being a member of parliament who opposition ya wo pon parliament e bia kwa adwuma nopa 9:30 10 na parliament arise e bia bed parliament upon be 2 o'clock wa what's I okwahin uko feel straight ba we MPP member of parliament yeah o party na wa ban mu wo pon parliament 2 o'clock wa what we can say mikro kwa me nkwa ro kwesa mu akwata ho na me nkwa hwe say e what say wo kwa say me ono kwesa mu akwata wo mpamon MP na ba hwe no obetimi no wadi nkomo wo from it akasa me community of agrek eko pestilence bi da koma me obeta communities be 5 ansa na ade asa na akofie babu sa wo say we member of parliament no na se nya party na wa ban mu a wo po wo kwahin obe bre parents no hu minister bi me wasa na tie that's the reality eti mon kwa parliament ase last because somewhere May no I think April ho baby because sababu bodin na I don't minim me jai but enedie se production me kwa ma enra me ko parliament me Tuesday 21st June 2020 votes and proceedings maje Wednesday 22nd June votes and proceedings me pesa me hwehwe ade wo ma me mo list answer na mato ade no so it was for a boiling point
Omanfm
1071 ma me kwa say straight away answer crop na mato ankomo no so we ye votes and proceedings it was for crate guta me green me gidi some camera na capture ye ko Facebook live na wo ko parliament enti parliament of no so no omo register nie omo parliament for register ne kuta min it is omo chemu miensa womo a omo ba adwuma da no ene womo a eda no ma adwuma na enso macho kra bibi nti no maka kire omaje permission omaka kire leadership ana maka kire speaker say enda ye bibi asanka enti ma adwuma ne ena womo so a omo ankwa adwuma na omo anka kire wo bia enti panifo nim bebi kra omo wo me patcho enne me yes exercise I think I have to do it today me wo Tuesday 21st June die ena mo Wednesday 22nd June nyame ene so boko parliament nyame adoma kina me make sure say no so me gia adwada mesa bobo me take me exercise we akopem say nyame adoma busumi bekwa awiye ne ye hwa de kakra because ha dwen samwa munum say numbers no na you see wo ko primaries woni nipa mienu na koye woni nipa miensa na koye nipa ko na lusu ni primaries e ka wo boy wono abo bio wono lusu ni primaries wonya post bia wonya appointment bia ba wa win primaries akwa win elections na ba be member of parliament pacho what parliament woni hwe kura mpo no wonya opportunity so beji loan e de atoka wono so wonya opportunity ni bi da na wonya opportunity ni bi se wode koto efe say abobo ya wo wonya opportunity so beji loan ni bi e de akoto taxi wonya bi sa ba wonya opportunity say obetimi ato V8 obetimi free V8 ama bosumi bia no akatua yatete afrim kakran just had it eti dia ne mrasepo ena minya hwe ena we mumu yai ena we mu na agiri ne mabebra boso hwe na wo da wo wanya na obi anya bi da wo wanya na obi anya bi ma me kwa de straight na me body no we ye me start for Tuesday die Tuesday the following members were absent with permission. Na absent with permission no omo do omo 31 omo de absent with permission ti penifo nim say omo ema adwuma na me ko baby omo cho the following honorable members were absent. Ye ka say were absent na ne yan fa with permission na nto aso a na chese obi anim baby kra omo wo ya no enipa da no Tuesday no omo ankwa adwuma obi anim baby ko mo omo e ma akwa 46 o both MPP and NDC me bo 46 di nyina me bo 46 ni nyina etebusa sa wo fie na wuti a ye waso ne ti Aboaje George Kwame asene across manso Adi Teddy Safori ayensu ano Adongo Isaac Bogatanga Central Aduchum ya ose Dr. Bosomtwe Afriye Nana ya Dr. Efijasi Asokore a Japan Ken Ohene Asin Central Ajiman Manu Kwaku Doma Central Ahenkwa Frederick Yao German North Amankwa Nicholas Amenfi East Amewu John Peter Hohoi Amwa Osebunsu Ekwapem South Enim Moses Trobu Apieje Patricia Asokwa Bawa Edward Abambiri Bongo Boachi Yadon Patrick Obuasi East Bobie Evans Opoku Esunafo North Crystal Abeku Ekunfi Dalu Thomas Ada Chiana Paga Dapila Kletu Sedu Drapa Dako Mensa Kwabana Ochre Takrade Dauda Collins Alaji Asutifi South Donko Elvis Morris Abura Sebu kwa Mankesi Forsin Kesiel Atoba Ajumako Inyan Esiam Gate Joe Esikado Ketan Ibrahim Muhammad Zuera Salaga South Kumsin Mavis Hawa Mrs. Awutu Senya East Kwati Kwajiman Obuasi West Mahama Farouk Umar Aliu Yandi Manu Adabo Francis Ahafwano South East Nanja Sanja Atewubu Amantin Intim Adelaide Nsuta Kwaman Beposo Intim Augustine Collins Offenso North Nyako Bismarck Tete Apa Menya Krobo Opon Kruma Kojo Ofansa Yirebi Owusu Bio Benito Atwimangwa Beja North Owusu Ekuful Esla G Ablekuma West Prempe Matthew Upoku Dr. Menshia South Quasin James Jache Asen North Anau Papa Daso Kane Kamo Safo Sara Ajua Domekwa Benya Sayibu Suhini Alasan Tamale North Sosu Francis Javier Kojo Madina Tewia Augustine Dr. Bia West Tete Agbotui Gizela Mrs. Awutu Senya West Tete Akwete Joseph Pon Katamanso Chum Ampo for Gifty Abuakwa North Yusuf Mustafa Yagaba Kabore Etabusa for way Tuesday die Nipa 46 absent without permission. Mekwa Wednesday 22nd June. Me se mashase nyame adom mpese me yade kosi bosu me na wiye. Nyame Wednesday 22nd June enie. The following honorable members were absent. We put mu dijai wo mu Depa 24. Ajima Manu Kwaku Doma Central. Ajeni Buati Kwaku Brekum West. Ahenkwa Frederick Yaw German North. Edu William Oreku Afija Kwabre South. Amewu John Peter Hohoi Eni Moses Trobu Entry Eugene Boachi Subin Asamoah Vincent upon Doma West Berfi Michael Ochre New Jabin South Blankson Alex Akrofuom Boachi Henry Yadom Akwetia Bobie Evans Opoku Esunafo North Jaja Yusuf Isaka Ayawaso North Mahama Farouk Umar Aliu Yendi Manu Adabo Francis Ahafwano South East Nanja Sanja Atebubu Amantin Nitiwu Dominic Bingbag Aduna Bimbila Obe Boaten Alfred Bibiani Anwiaso Bekwai Kwaisin James Jachi Asen Nov Safo Sarah Ajwa Domekwa Benya Sayibu Suhini Alasan Tamale Nov Sosu Francis Harvey Kojo Madina Tofi Dokas Jomro Yusuf Mustafa Yagaba Kubori Yagaba Kubori Etiwenso 22nd June Wednesday no 24 persons and 24 MPs Oman Parliament without permission. I'm starting in the Yami Aduma Echna Ahwaden so ba yebeto asako pese June no yebeko ewie. The can you say Parliament is a muhia numbers. Na MPP members of Parliament mona mo ban party wa ban mu. And this what they can decide not to go, especially about man make a intention known say Yamu Mabaso cry say revenue generation from when so bad for Modi. MPP ni member of Parliament. So what he is swaya was so swaji a day yare. If you ask to be to me yare, so yare my Parliament and Tessa home found 20 Majuma. Now, Mamma penny for any bread. Mamma penny for no a bread. I'm telling you. Party from penny for how more executives. I'm talking about government executive. How more. I had the paper former members of Parliament. Just the kind of discipline I know more at the Parliament. I won't can above from what is happening. I don't know me them abobo. It's up to you. Say obeba na say ma na na di na mincha de menya venerable lawyer ankasa lawyer senior most lawyer Ayukwe Otu e wo yentem ese no mo na eden and the full name no lawyer Joseph ni Ayukwe Otu Joseph me fa Joseph nka ho amema was it David na ubeka twa na abaka brofo obeka brofo na me brofo nyesa o sa okay but ebuza fonti ni Ayukwe Otu ni Ayukwe Otu aspiring national chairman of NPP was studio senti be di enkomo na before e be koso no me mbo voices kitua bi na me na yaboafo no so ase na de enkomo no ahyehye so me di kan abo John Mahama ana ma me mo haru na drusu de no first ma mo haru na drusu de no first eni.
This minority succeeded in reducing E-levy from 1.75 to 1.50. This minority succeeded in reducing E-levy from 1.75 to 1.50. I mean, the intention was 1.75. There were many other activities that would have been captured by E-levy. They've abandoned it thanks to the opposition and our constructive criticisms of the policy in order to be able to improve it, including remittances. And even more importantly, government have already lost half-year revenue of whatever it anticipated from E-levy. That can only be attributed to purpose and tenacity of a minority group in Parliament. You may be dissatisfied with it from E-levy. That can only be attributed to purpose and tenacity. More importantly, government have already lost half-year revenue of whatever it anticipated from E-levy. That can only be attributed to purpose and tenacity of a minority group in Parliament. You may be dissatisfied with us. We just took a legal remittances. And even more importantly, government have already lost half-year revenue of whatever it anticipated from E-levy. That can only be attributed to purpose and tenacity of a minority group in Parliament. You may be dissatisfied with us. We just took a legal step. We probably may not satisfy you, but I do not think that is all wrong. You see, even more importantly, government have already lost half-year revenue of whatever it anticipated from E-levy. That can only be attributed to purpose and tenacity of a minority group in Parliament. You may be even more importantly, government have already lost half-year revenue of whatever it anticipated from E-levy. That can only be attributed to purpose and tenacity of a minority group.
I was afford the Haruna Drusu NDC minority leader, the walking in an say. Sawota almost said, dear grandpa, or what me I added to the extent to say, E-levy and Nanka buying say, obe generate sika kakra na koda ahwe Ghana so no ɔse through tenacity and purpose just so much that tenacity anwene niema no a calculate well calculated steps and no de buy you say a buy percent target say person 10 million Ghana cedis afe no de hwe Ghana omatimi aye ormo ho ama 10 million no aban alusubu 5 million eno ntin Ghana for emo maba so say sika e de betwa police for ka sika e de betwa nurse for ka sika e de be school feeding program sika e de be free SHS national health insurance kan etwa ne so amade bi so ni nyina no how na dru so say oma ya de senka ban e 10 million make amount keke so that you understand it aban pe 10 million na so no mantima ma aban nya 10 million na aban nya 5 million eno nti aban enimu guasia eni NDC for say oma ya de pacho what the NDC for suba no that is opposition ayewo e wo Ghana ma mintie John Mahama so asma ono so da no o kan ni nti
make a majority nti na almost abosia no ye na ye take parliament so and ye share loans no and we approve them and then mean to me can say President Kofoji bosia na menhu ne ode ye bosia bia ye every international agreement must be submitted to parliament. It will be a person who parliament, they'll give them the documents, every single project for which you've taken a loan, a record not that parliament. And maybe you know, some media for more checks, I also more research to more namofa a film address on Israel in 7th January. Bosia Ajin take it and research it. Could be Yakase, yes, our project, Nakosha say a new project now, and I say, yeah. It's the work of the media. And this media can say, and people can say, the media is to inform, and also take the research and go and look at Bosia and go to where I can say, yes, and your man, Nakosha say, and your man, and Kosana. And that one I leave it to you.
Eti John Mahama that time no president no na hiti banoso enko force John Mahama wa bobesian wa tu kwan but ye hu de ma odi sika no eye eti be chechiri mu a John Mahama ne minu apanyi comedy nkra na mu yesa interview wi comedy nkra legend kwame busa no question ya was say dabi question me musa me na bese bia ye bobia na ye kwa parliament na ye kwaje eti sa wo ze zo ni a kwa parliament ne kwa busa kwaje Hansard yebeka jo se yakobo bi se be ka say ye de koya de wi ni John Mahama how cheeky he is we cheeky but eno fa ba mu de ya utimi gina baby ebusa president Kufuor say bisa na ya bono ye de na parliament ya buagu parliament ase ana ni parliament biem Hansard papers na ye ma ye tro nye ye biem ana. That's the hypocrisy of John Dramani Mahama. Ye bedi ehun enkomo na ohun say COVID-19 by Russia nso so atwahye Ukraine for so fin ye no so ye di hu nkomo ukokan nkofo sie da bi enye Russia war ukokan nkofo sie da bi enye COVID-19 patcho no voices me nu bi wa say no my bebo amieti US President Joe Biden ye wi a na ye ko UK so former finance minister mekanesa one a chancellor of the exchequer ye bebo mo voice nyina kakra ebusafo timunta maso na yenti ye wi a na ma transmit ma chechim kakra na de nkomo no aka no so atoa so.
Well, there are a number of reasons having to do with Putin's war in Ukraine, disruption caused by the pandemic. You want to know why prices are so high? Well, there are a number of reasons having to do with Putin's war in Ukraine, disruption caused by the pandemic. But one of the factors affecting prices is this. 9 major shipping companies consolidated into 3 alliances control the vast majority of ocean shipping in the world. And each of these 9 is foreign-owned. During the pandemic, these carriers increased their prices by as much as 1,000%. 1,000%. While families and businesses struggled around the world, these carriers made $190 billion in profit in 2021, 7 times higher than the year before. 7 times higher than the year before. And they raked in the profits. And the costs got passed on, as you might guess, directly to the consumers, sticking it to American families and businesses because they could. Well, there are a number of reasons having to do with Putin's war in Ukraine, disruption caused by the pandemic. You want to know why prices are so high? Well, there are a number of reasons having to do with Putin's war in Ukraine, disruption caused by the pandemic. But one of the factors affecting prices is this. 9 major shipping companies consolidated into 3 alliances control the vast majority of ocean shipping in the world. And each of these 9 is foreign-owned. During the pandemic, these carriers increased their prices by as much as 1,000%. 1,000%. While families and businesses struggled around the world, these carriers made $190 billion in profit in 2021, 7 times higher than the year before. 7 times higher than the year before. And they raked in the profits. And the costs got passed on, as you might guess, directly to the consumers, sticking it to American families and businesses because they could.
Omanfm.
I was a 40 US President Joe Biden and I walk as an walk said if you ask what no some baby and walk and was say kopo shipping crumpono a cost no a cost 1,000%. 1,000% to where US President as no walk was a family in what no was a pandemic what has he pandemic COVID-19 pandemic COVID-19 pandemic once and US President Ekano. Obian was a Russian war. Or money Ukraine for Tokano. But at Dana, you can't Ghana dia and go for si boy or Montiasi. Now my voice back with Bohol, some mess of Obon earlier. Now John Mahama Bo Ekas, I was say China slow down. China for economy slow down one. That I know never I say one no. Just China pay. China pay was a China pay one. John Mahama said, I'm one and cause the Mamofo and Amofo Tantino. China slow down. Now, if you are saying now, a recession, Ghana, Yahoo identity saying, I don't watch a Jaco can say, Binancy. Was saying, openness, Ghana city, yeah, is ye open to if you say global challenges, no, a bar say pa, Ghana, it's me affect 85%. America force it me affect more 15%. It is a pandemic a baby asking na na se ho kire na. Yet Ghana a be affect more than America. A be affect more than Germany. A be affect more than Japan. Sadet ye. Na afed ye almost a month ase. Mbacho mabo ura American President Joe Biden die. Ma me ko board ye ayiso e kan ye. Ura Gordon Brown so ekasai one BBC eye interview bi me pese me boy no so ema nyina yeti because for a former chancellor of the Exchequer and also a former prime minister UK and no tim pese ye bo ono so voice na nyina yeti bi say esebi asem na ekoso nkomo na ye die no enye se ebia eye bosremuka na obi aye former finance minister mekanisa no asaya former prime minister UK ni inflation ho nsem ne ntokwa ekoso no wono so ne BBC for nya interview no wakane say yenti
of England saying that inflation is going to reach 11%. Do you think it could go even higher?
It's going to be high, and Britain's going to have some of the worst inflation. But this is, first of all, a global problem that needs a global solution. We're actually leaderless at the moment, but we're not powerless. We could do what we did in 2009 and bring people together. There's a food crisis, 800 million on the verge of starvation. There's an energy crisis with oil prices going up, affecting every country, inflation crisis, recession in prospect, and of course on top of COVID and conflict and climate change, which is affecting every country. So Boris Johnson may be going to Rwanda and then to Germany, but he really ought to be getting world leaders together, and they should concoct a plan that deals in a concerted and comprehensive way that can get oil prices down, can get food supply moving around the world, and can get control of inflation. Now, this is initially something that they can do as a global initiative by world leaders.
You said in an article in a newspaper today that the country is facing a set of challenges similar to the 1930s, the so-called Devil's Decade. Do you really think it could be that bad here?
Well, we've got protectionism, we've got war in Europe, we've got a form of jingoism and nationalism in different countries pursuing their own selfish interests, and we're in danger of having a global recession. So we have to face up to these problems. I say Churchill said that people at the time were resolved to be irresolute and adamant for drift, and solid for fluidity and all-powerful for impotence. And that's, I'm afraid, where the world looks at the moment. When people say they don't know what the plan is, that's because there is no plan. We've got to get together and agree how we can combat prices initially and then get control of inflation. Now, there are domestic things we can do, and we can come to that, but initially you need to get world leaders together. We did it before, and we did it, of course, at other crucial times, facing multiple crises, and this is one of the biggest crises that the world has faced for many years.
Bank of England saying that inflation is going to reach 11%. Do you think it could go even higher?
It's going to be high, and Britain's going to have some of the worst inflation. But this is, first of all, a global problem that needs a global solution. We're actually leaderless at the moment, but we're not powerless. We could do what we did in 2009 and bring people together. There's a food crisis, 800 million on the verge of starvation. There's an energy crisis with oil prices going up, affecting every country. Inflation crisis, recession in prospect, and of course on top of COVID and conflict and climate change, which is affecting every country. So Boris Johnson may be going to Rwanda and then to Germany, but he really ought to be getting world leaders together, and they should concoct a plan that deals in a concerted and comprehensive way that can get oil prices down, can get food supply moving around the world, and can get control of inflation. Now, this is initially something that they can do as a global initiative by world leaders.
You said in an article in a newspaper today that the country is facing a set of challenges similar to the 1930s, the so-called Devil's Decade. Do you really think it could be that bad here?
Well, we've got protectionism, we've got war in Europe, we've got a form of jingoism and nationalism in different countries pursuing their own selfish interests, and we're in danger of having a global recession. So we have to face up to these problems. I say Churchill said that people at the time were resolved to be irresolute and adamant for drift and solid for fluidity and all-powerful for impotence, and that's, I'm afraid, where the world looks at the moment. When people say they don't know what the plan is, that's because there is no plan. We've got to get together and agree how we can combat prices initially and then get control of inflation. Now, there are domestic things we can do, and we can come to that, but initially you need to get world leaders together. We did it before, and we did it, of course, at other crucial times, facing multiple crises, and this is one of the biggest crises that the world is facing.
And this is one of the biggest crises the world is facing. But Gordon Brown, and now Gordon Brown, a former former finance minister UK, and now was a prime minister for about 3 years. UK, Bibinti was not to us name said, could you come to be a microphone peki, and I saw baby once, and I went to me. I was at reality no any you. Reality no any. Former finance minister, former prime minister, and then sitting president, American president, Walker, BBC Nini Busa, Gordon Brown say, hey, your inflation, kakra be kosuro, 11%. Now you just a bit to was yes, a bit to me a quote. Na baby aircon, was it any more about 800 million citizens? A car crab, a comupo a yakunipa. If you are seeing 800 million. Na mesa aba voices no pacho mesa aba so bi mu na roba you go to a campaign no bi ya che papa wasense so no babusa would say e more urgent ya kreba me be enkomo straight away ma men kanfo Franco trading for sma ebusa for mo the iPhone Samsung Nokia smart television ye no eye Franco for ankasa Franco TV na Franco air condition no e bi e wo ho no mo obetimi afre omo e wo ahoma we so 0246 422-338. Say, we call Google now for or more number na hormone pacho. A fake and bi frosted be aje hormone afa. Intima main careful say, Jomo number no was original one rankasa and was no 0555-9393-11 and 0246-422-338. Franco Trading Enterprise was still phone Papa Fee Grace Homeopathic Clinic Ebusia General Consultant Omuyebi. Omoya laboratory scanning na bi ho ne dietary council o pesa wo so tie o jisi bi omo ayedukesia na pesa wo so tie akoho no mo na oma mo ncheche o be hihia ama na ma oduane abehunu na obetim edi ama wo so atikakra no se bi stroke ne ha na diabetes hypertension na ni nyina no ko no ma o betimi ama ho aduru omo Madina akachi abo last stop o beta from 0556 181 666 and 0200 067 500 ya no Grace Homeopathic Clinic. On a boy could to patch all Tennessee. Honorable Ayuko to ni Ayuko to what's it? Well, you're former Attorney General, right? Nah, I was also became tree and now became brofo. As for the tree, yes. You don't do well. But
I do understand.
Yeah, and to me, Busawi, tree.
I don't mind. If I don't understand, I'll ask you.
Yes, so that I also try to Busan brofo. Never try to say.
I'm doing well.
You are doing well. Okay, that's great. That's great. Nah. We want chance muntemu start young go focus say be contest national chairman of MPP contest national chairman of MPP no udin a mantem udin ba mu last minute ya den.
Well, I don't think it's an issue.
Okay.
You know, I was in Canada.
Yes.
And so I followed the American elections.
Okay.
And if you recall, the last person to announce was Biden.
To contest.
You know, the CNN people were calling upon him to, contest and contest. Then at a point it said, the man to beat Trump is Biden. So eventually, Biden decided to announce that he was going to run. I was able to raise so much money within a very short time. And eventually, he came up tops. So as far as I'm concerned, that is not an issue. We want to, if only our people want to listen to message.
Okay.
They want to look at strong leadership and who would, lead them to victory in 2024. I have no doubt that they should be looking my way.
Okay, enti yebeba message na wo kan no na yaba strong leadership no so yebeba ni nyina so but me pesa wo kire tiefo me gidi sem before dodo no the last time omote rabo ni ayiko to enka eye menkai me ye me gidi say Supreme Court time na omotwe Urasa John yakopo fa ni crazy ekọ ho no ma one so typical charge no. Mejidi said MP photo do now. That was the last time that they have seen you in public space. But so we are wine.
Well, I've been with the MPP and served the MPP in various capacities. I think Sir John was around 2013.
Yes, 2013.
But you remember Afuku and the rest became chairman.
Yes.
Later.
Yes.
And we held the conference in Tamale.
Tamale, yes.
Do you remember who swore in Afuku and his group? On that day at the stadium?
Tamale Sports Stadium. That Sunday morning, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We worked the whole day till the following morning.
Someone now hear chairman of the Constitutional League and Anambra.
Correct.
Yes.
So if you so you are going back.
Okay.
Because you find that it was not the time of Jake.
Yes.
That I served as chairman of the Constitutional League Committee.
Yes.
And so at the time I was a member of the National Elections Committee as well as the National Appeals Committee. I also served on the Vetting Committee and also served on the Disciplinary Committee. So these were all after Sir John. This was all after Sir John.
Okay.
Yes. And I played, even if you recall, when we won the elections and we set up what we call the transitional team.
Okay.
I was in charge of what we call Executive Assets Committee.
Okay.
And I was in charge of looking for the lost vehicles.
Hey, sir.
So I even issued a statement about the vehicles that we didn't see.
Wow. And the vehicles about Kunkufia Dams anyway. And now what they call year renter. And now many ABC news ye channel. And now your channel airport police station for car of £1 doing our airport police station. Make a report to Kufa Dam say, at then I buy car. No wafa edi twi ayidi egu no botum me makoka ho azete egu ne mase wode me call court
Yes.
me di na chi a me no ka se Kofi Adams wakwa appeal kwa kulusu to wode me ka 40,000 nti no me ba ne asa be hwe legal ye be wo ho ne ahwade.
Okay. We looked at that. And
okay.
then, prior to all that, if you recall, Kennedy Ajipong
yes
was reported to have said that I think either guns should kill Ewes or Ewes should kill guns. Some weird statements which didn't mean anything. It was only explaining circumstances. What about if this?
Yeah, what about conditional?
Conditional.
Yes.
And then they charge him not with a small offense, but treason. You have forgotten who the lawyer was at the time. I was the same person who granted him bail.
I see.
And I was the same person who did the case for him at the circuit court.
Okay.
And I made a submission of no case and he walked away. He did not talk.
Okay. I see. We are most grateful.
So I've always been around, generally been around, yes. In fact, I think before the elections too, I was constantly on news file. Yeah, constantly on news file. Subsequently, I have done a lot of radio and TV discussion programs, always, defending the party here and there. So those who know.
Those who don't know, go know.
Those who know. Those who don't know,
go know. You know, Kingsman, Professor Tuku Wokan, and San Wakano, was those who don't know, go know. Those who don't know, go know. And there was a 4 batch or ni I go to where aspiring national chairman of MPP and a minute I did one. Yeah, more fight check and the chino, said that and Papa Janan, the Brofona. And work about meeting my trust, my teacher, my watch. I say, one the party, and I'm that. Now, most of the time, legal cases be a party, no court, not identity or representatives, or represent the party in the Krumpa, with my advice. In the Becaya or Rabon, Japan, I say, but one the told us on the crown, one representative, no, a war court, or Rabon Japan, Yan the Fahudi, and to notice why not so I be pan and no person as MPP national chairman. Ni. Enti motivation being the mouth kase opeso ko ye national chairman na wo message na wo ko anything.
Well, I have 2 messages. Okay. When people are listening to you on radio, those people are not supposed to be delegates necessarily. Some may be delegates, some may not be.
Yeah.
So when you meet your delegates on the ground, you talk to them about matters that affect them.
Sure.
That when you go on the station, you are supposed to look at the larger issues. So the larger issues that, to me, I have found is the communicators. And when I talk of communicators, I mean, I also add the serial callers.
Okay.
So we are already government in power, and we hoping to continue. But I don't see a government in power which will be talking about change.
Who has in power?
No, you can't talk about change. You
can
only talk about continuity. Now, if you are talking about continuity, then you are also suggesting that you have a record.
Okay.
And so you must run on your own record. As far as I'm concerned, if the communication is not good, then who will know your record and why they should continue to vote for you? So it seems to me that we have to strengthen the communication, because if NDC people could say, well, you haven't done nothing, you've just collected, contracted a lot of loans, but we don't see what you've done with the loans. And I'll give a typical example of what you have just played.
John Mohammed's voice, or all the voices?
All the issues that have to do with the external factors
and
how they affect our economy.
Especially you coming from Canada as Ghana's former High Commissioner.
How many people really understand that aspect? Because NDC people keep saying that, you've taken the money, you've not doing anything. I mean, you are not the only country that is affected by COVID and blah, blah, blah. But from what we heard, UK, US, these are giant countries, industrial countries. They are all complaining about inflation, the effect of COVID, the effect of
Russia,
Ukraine war and all that. Why are people not able to explain to our listeners or to Ghanaians generally why it cannot be our peculiar problem? And I was challenging somebody the last time. Tell me, when we took over till COVID struck,
yes,
what is it that you believe we did not do right? Is there anything that you can point to? All the promises we made, we walked through them. We talked about SHS, we were able to do it. We spoke about restoring nurses and
teacher training allowance.
We were able to do them. You know, we spoke about one district, one factory. We kicked off.
Ambulances,
yeah. Railways, all the things that we're doing, you know. It was clear that we had charted a new course. We're moving. Then, unfortunately, COVID struck. How have we explained? Because they still keep on saying that, well, we haven't done anything. I give this recent example of the dualization of the Kumasi Road. We've all been complaining that accidents occur all the time. Accidents occur. The best way out is to dualize. But the thing has started from Apedra going, and nobody knows about it. You know, so it seems to me that you cannot blame them for what is happening. But then, how do you strengthen them?
Okay,
That they can go out there and then explain the issues. Do they have what it takes to even get to the studio? To get back from the studio, and for the serial callers who is paying their bills, because in opposition they were calling. How come that we got serial callers who are ready to go and bend their phones?
who's in power?
Yes, who's in power rather.
And to one obey national chairman. What you say? One of your cardinal is was some communication, no, as national chairman. Oman when he bring home, said we about the Roman Ghana for your power Ghana Abane and
exactly, because you have an election ahead of you in 2024, and Ghanaian electorates appear to have created the impression that after 8 years you have to leave, and this is the second term of the president, which means that he's going to leave after 8 years.
Okay,
That being the case in 2024. Where is the guarantee that you go beyond that? And I'm saying that if you are not going to talk about change, yes, some one Chakimi and the rest, you can only talk of moving forward.
Yes.
So if you are trying, so what is there to try?
To twassle with. Okay.
Why the people know the things we have done, why they have to give you the opportunity to continue. And that comes back, as far as I'm concerned, to communication. If we do our communication well, I'm sure that a lot of things. I mean, haven't we built bridges, roads, interchanges, schools, STEM, science and mass technology institutes? We've done so much, and yet it's like nobody, seems to know. And we are giving the NDC the free range to just talk by heart.
But as national chairman, don't you think it's that should be the primary focus of information ministry, directorate at communication directorate at Jubilee House, and directorate at information communication directorate at party level? What just say no should be their focus, but not the national chairman.
Who is the chairman of the party? When you talk of party level, and all those directors who appoint them.
Okay.
So if you don't supervise them and give the right leadership, I don't think you get it. Information ministry is more formalized.
Yes.
It is more formalized. Everybody knows what they are supposed to talk about. So if you put
your hopes on them,
it will not be the best, because people may not even listen.
Okay.
But then when you get the others, because if after a program like you are doing, you say, I've opened the phone lines. Those who are calling.
Yes. And as maybe
those are the people who will begin to attack the government.
Yeah.
And if you don't have people to respond immediately, the impression out there will be that you are not doing well, when in fact you are doing well. So constantly, we need to put the information out there. And we should make ourselves available so we can give the people information instead of allowing them to work on the rumors, or feed on rumors. You know, so that's why I believe that we need it. Remember, the term of national officers and the presidential elections are such that you come in the middle.
Okay.
We are doing the elections now, 2022, but you will have to take the party to elections in
2024.
It is not those who have done their bit and gone. You. So you begin to think about it right now. How do you strategize?
Yes.
Because the election is 2024.
Next month it's at least more 2 years to strategize.
Exactly.
And you think, say, near equal to who strategies enough? Yeah. No matter who becomes the flag bearer, will be timid not say, I can say, yes, strategy as a party. Also a flag bearer for the Bani income muna synergy nimrada muntimi and quabonti. What that cloud no?
Oh, why are you asking such a question? If you are the chairman, they should listen to you. But then you can't do it alone.
Okay.
You need a campaign team. You need a manifesto drafting committee. You know, and you put your heads together. You do research. You just don't go into election. So do your research. Get your campaign strategies. Get your campaign managers. Get them on board, and then you work together. You know, but there are things that sometimes affect us, and those are, as I said, the larger issues that I like to talk about.
Yes.
This whole idea of not applying rules for elections fairly, I believe that is one of the things that affect us. You want to go to primaries, you go for a form. Somebody says, I won't give you the form. Or you fill your form. They say your form is missing. You say, oh, but I have a photocopy. They say, well, what you are holding is
it's not genuine.
It's not genuine. You are here. You have listened. I'm sure you've heard a lot of the problems. What do you think you are doing? You are allowing apathy to set in.
Okay.
People will not be happy. Those who have not been fairly treated will not be happy. They may not want to vote for you. Because they don't want to vote for NDC, will just decide to do what they call voting with their feet.
So they will stay home.
They won't even come there at all. So why don't we try to apply the rules fairly so that people will be happy? Where you are sitting, I know you follow MPP a lot. Why is it that after every election we begin to talk about reconciliation? Why? Why should we always be talking about reconciliation?
But you think, say, Enka, Bibia level playing field, rules no be a diso. Was a forms no mokoto, and I'm online na. Some 1,000 na some so interested will be ankoto, no quadjodi. But the moment Omokase bia when almost ya mafia we akwebe mafia.
That's the term, mafia. When you start talking about mafia, it's going to lead to apathy. And then I have said that the brightest example for all of us is after 137, who needed the independent candidate?
MPP.
Was he not a member?
Yes.
Didn't he just want to go to Parliament?
Yes.
And then now, what is he?
Is
he second deputy speaker?
Yes.
He only wanted to go to Parliament. He has not thought about speakership. You have to go and offer him a speakership because you need him. And yet, this was our own member. But when you try to do mafia, I guess, then we ended up 137. This 137, we can't just, think that it just happened. It's because we had so many problems ourselves with the party organization and the problems with lack of unity and skirt and blouse. Why is that in some constituencies the president had more votes than parliamentary
candidate, especially in central region?
And some places where both of them lost, but the president even had more.
Yes.
You understand? So why should people begin to talk about skirt and blouse? If we are united and we are moving on and everybody is happy, why? So these things, I think we should begin to look at it. I am not saying that you cannot protect anybody. In my view, there should be ways of doing the protection. You can talk people out. You can use age limitation. You can compare two people. Let me give, let's look at the example of, say, Adju Asafo with Professor Michael Kwe.
Okay.
Contested Domi Kwabenya. Adju Asafo wants to contest. Say, oh, please, you are still young. You have lots of time. This old man has done, this man has done some work. Why don't you allow him just to finish it up? And then next time, you also come. That is negotiations. That is mediation. So the person understands and then withdraws. You have still protected the gentleman.
Yes.
You
But
understand?
when you went to
So if you go a mafia, then what happens?
or be mafia. Some mafia any back for team.
So that's why I'm raising these issues.
All right, was for dinner you could.
And then another bright example that I give, and you have been within this area, I don't know, you are not too far from Ayawaso West Wagon.
No. Make what I'm talking about.
There was a time that Fremont Parusai was looking for a form to pick to contest as parliamentary candidates.
Now I'm a dear man.
They refused to give it. She had to go to see president. President says, go to party headquarters. Let them supply you the card, the form from there. She had to go take the form there, contest, win. Today, look at where she is sitting.
Chief of staff.
If they have allowed the mafia
to mafia her,
do you think she will be where she is and serving us today? But those who were doing those things, how better were they compared with this lady? See, you understand what I'm talking about? These are some of the bigger issues that you talk on radio. When you meet your own people, there are things that you can also do. So these are the motivations, some of the motivations why I'm looking. Because I have been with the party as a lawyer. We've handled some of these cases. They did it in Nungwa, Krowa. That was when was that? 2012 or so. And the people said, no, we won't accept this kind of thing. It ended up in court, and therefore they were not, an injunction was placed on them, and they were not permitted to take elections until eventually the court annulled the elections, gave instructions for them to go back and rerun the entire elections. And then they did that, and they were now permitted to come. And they even won elections and all that. So, please, that is, in my view, the way to go. Some of these things, we are leaving them and sweeping them under the carpet and talking about ways and means. You do ways and means against yourself. Can't you do ways and means
against others? How do you do another ways and means in Naira? But, Chairman, talking about apathy, no? Examples outside here and one, no. But there's more to it, beam to say. A bimu ya musu part the babemu minyashi afe we yen netia wakoko CEO wakoko managing director wakoko MP waye minister yenhuno that time no omo ya mamo party for but omo ba be ya abemu mpanifo international chairman some issues we ba more attention na mo be handle the same.
Yes, that is one of the issues we are talking about. Strong leadership. The chairman and his team must be able to offer very strong leadership so that you can talk to the appointing authority. Let them understand that there is a need to consult, the party leadership at the constituency and the regional level. So they can make an input that, look, these are the people who worked in this constituency. We have nothing against you trying to, appoint somebody from here. But if it is this name that we are hearing, we would rather suggest that this person should be looked at because we think that he deserves to be rewarded for the very hard work that he put up for the party. You understand? But if the names just drop from somewhere, and the party people, exactly the way you put it, they are not happy with him. They don't know the person. They don't bond with him. They don't even know how to go to him. That is a problem. It doesn't mean that it is only the party people who can do the work. You can also look for competence. And in looking for the competence, it may not be a regular party person, in the sense that some people carry the idea that politics is dirty. And so, me, if I go to politics, I'm going to open myself up to abuses.
Yes.
I remember I used to write for Graphic and Daily Guide. I had one topic, don't insult my grandmother.
Don't insult my grandmother.
Don't insult my grandmother. Because in Accra,
I won't cry. What is that? Irony.
They will insult you, insult your mother, your grandmother, just because you want to call
whom they didn't know.
Never. Who has died and gone somewhere? I remember I even cited that example in my write-up. They took a duck, doko, a duck.
Okay.
Carried it from Accra to somebody's house.
Hey.
Somewhere about a parliamentary, and sang at his door. And said, oh, this man, when he was at school, he went and stole the control.
So this is the duck that was stolen. And
so they went and they threw the duck into it. Some of these things said that, people just shy away. You call them and say, no. This dirty game, I don't want to get involved. They will insult me and even insult my grandmother. Politics can be devoid of that. I even recently issued another statement that we are doing only internal politics. So there's no need for us to be tearing ourselves apart and giving ammunition about ourselves to the opponents. If all of us are contesting as chairperson and then we begin to attack each other and watch our dirty linen in public, you don't know who amongst you win. Then one of you wins, but he has been so damaged that you have now given information or ammunition to the opponents who will then begin to So if we keep the politics clean, devoid of some of these things, then you can get other people to get involved. But what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is that it is not everybody who wants to go into the hot kitchen. Because it is if you think the kitchen is too hot, get out.
Get out.
So if you have a competent hand, the president has looked at the field and said, look, this gentleman can play a role. Allow him, to maybe take 1, 2 people who, because of, like I've explained to you, the kind of dirtiness associated, they don't want to come, but they are ready to serve. So everybody must be given the opportunity. But largely, it would be in consultation with the constituency and the regional people, just like when the president wants to appoint a deputy. I mean, it is his decision, but he will want to consult his
the minister. Okay.
What do you think? Can you work with this? I'm proposing this, and you talk. So some of these things can be done. Again, remember that the chairman and the secretary are supposed to be
part of cabinet.
Exactly. So when you listen and you hear, you can also influence a few things, things there, So these are my genuine issues that I think we have not really sat down to.
Best more question back on a same. What about national chairman? Who executives? Na president ewo ho president did not take a decision be. But what Timu say, affected fortunes of the party. That
is why you work together. Without a party, there will be no government. Can there be a government without a party? It is a party that works, goes to elections, and then gets people to vote.
Just that when there's a government, it doesn't care. So it's a party who's there, there's a government.
So you have to work together and let the president know that if you do things which will affect the fortunes of your people, you are going to lose. You lose the elections and lose your position as well. Is that what you want? If that is not what you want, then listen to your party people. And that is why sometimes I blame our leadership when they don't make themselves available. If you make yourself available, the people will give you information. You get to know what is happening on the ground. You listen to the ground, and then you can carry it to wherever you want to go. But if you don't listen, if you don't make yourselves available, you know, it becomes a problem. And I keep telling them, if you put me there and you come to the party office, you will meet me there.
That I will be say joke could be or say, hey, I see what I've now by you, number for being the BC hour.
But we are speaking, we are communicating.
But have you said anything, right?
We are communicating.
But you understand what I just said, right?
I know.
What implication, you know?
I know.
Okay.
I'm saying that Jake was not able to speak any language.
What put us on 10 crime?
Didn't he serve us well?
Yeah, he did.
Was he not one person who you can always find when you get to the party?
Oh, friend Biaso Benyano.
He's always sitting there. Where are the rest now? Like they used to write, where are they now?
Yeah, they now.
You see, so it's a matter of communication. Fortunately for me, I understand.
Yes.
No, I do. I do. I mean, but because it's something that I'm not used to speaking.
Yes, it's just an idea.
But when you speak, I do follow.
Mr. and Crakrametica crow, Baminta, Kentia, and Murphy. But I'll come at me here.
Boy, or
I was afraid I go to was part to be a site of MPP. And you didn't tell my you didn't call me. I said, no questions, maybe the Bassibia or to BCB and I question your Bissana. You bet me Eddie and Encomo. But so far, I had my 15th July now contest number so process is not saying.
Well, we've gone through the vetting. I think the results are out there.
Yeah, today.
The results are out. And there's a new dimension that we are seeing about debates.
I'm not proposing debate. Sir.
We have seen things like that. Maybe they are yet to come out to put flesh on it, but things like that are also doing.
I'm not proposing debate. It's a national chairman for any debate.
Yeah.
Sir. That's the secretary for a debate. And national chairman. Sir. Oh. You. And said will be a part.
I don't know. I'm saying that. So the processes are okay.
I think very interesting.
You fill the forms, you have gone through vetting, now they say we want to do a debate, let's hear everybody, you know.
Nobody did tell you that. Boko vetting, what kind? Won't come to agreement.
Not necessarily, but they are managers of the election.
Okay.
And if this is what the managers are proposing, I think so. That's what the managers are proposing. They would like to. So you're asking me about the processes, and I'm telling you that.
Yeah. So
far, this is where we are. But I think it will be announced officially. I don't know.
Debate, no.
When they decide on it finally.
Debate, no more anyway. Almost 7 kakra. You to put here. I think say ombecha dey boy you to jam. You know, you dey jawum. You to dey jaw na me boy pope. You to dey jawum na chairman for no there. Ya na most straight mo say dem peka say dey ma montena se. Na ma you to for no come fan taso. Ya no there. Emrante mu try be 3 places. E ko ba ko wa na ba ko wo. Master ba ko so keep post na yapon. But chairman for there. Oh, media
Well, you wait when it comes out, you can then express your opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
But as far as the processes are concerned, that is one of the things that we have heard is being considered. And another larger issue to me is these polling station executives. We always talk about elections are won at the polling station.
Yes.
Elections are won at the polling station. Well, how do we strengthen them? How do we energize them? How do we help the executives to do their work well?
What strategy?
Well, I'm saying that if by the constitution of our party, they should be acting as polling station agents and counting agents, are they giving the proper equipments for them to know, the training for them to know? Anytime I go somewhere and ask them, if the results are close, what should the agent do? They look at me.
No, sure.
It is there that you can ask for a recount because the results are close. Maybe somebody's ballot was added to another ballot. That's all, or mistaken. But when the thing is white, what is the point of doing
recounting?
It is when it is close, and these trainings are not giving. These people are not equipped with this knowledge. You will go there and sign, and once you certify the results, you've hanged yourself. And so after you have hanged yourself, now you say, I'm going to challenge the results. It will be used against you that your own person, your agent who you put there, signed the declaration and said that, in fact, you have admitted that you lost. So don't come and waste that time.
And wouldn't be challenges and the civic challenge one and I want to sign it because we're signing.
Oh, yeah, sign. But he will sign in private. He will sign there.
And so we suggest say police station executives now Mumbai said as a watchman for Mamu police stations no more enough training. Now well equipped. Both BBA name mentally say look. Become mental fortitude. I say to me, now so you say community, so that's it. This is Manaba. I see.
You hear all kinds of rumors that some of them have been compromised and the rest. We need to. Sometimes, in my view, even if the person is an executive but is not equipped, is not qualified, we can take a better person, somebody, better in terms of a knowledgeable person, to take over that post and act on behalf of the party.
Question where you are there, me tell bisa aspirant be over him say, baby will free be near me beside say be a region where we free hold open position we more performance and me the compare 2016 to 2020 at say my musa question I'm sure say it may be a fair question. 2016 elections, Greater Accra and just say performance was very good for MPP. 2020 elections performance no you can't say it was very good. In fact, it was bad. Apart from say MPP lose seats, seats at the man the hard dream company say I me suspect the party pay the phone be me say sabe 5 seats we airco. And the airco were going gone. MPP lose presidential elections, Greater Accra. You know, presidential yada wide, less than 100,000, about 80,000 or so. Greater Accra is your region. Yamia does obey national chairman. Yaka Greater Accra and Central region say a swing regions. We say now be say region say which may deliver region ama national niaji.
Well, we've had the history of Peter Lajite.
Yes.
We have had the history of Jake, we've had the history of Udoy Sykes.
Yes.
And it's like there's some magic.
Anytime there's a gun national chairman, MPP wins power.
To win power with Greater Accra as well. So tell them that I'm ready.
Then let's tell them.
I've come. The Messiah is here.
The Messiah is here. But
you see, these are the few things I don't understand well. Which one?
What could be the reason for MPP winning elections when there's a gunman as national chairman of MPP?
Well,
what could be the magic?
In a wider context, you see that sometimes the party is seen as an account party. because almost everybody there is an Akan. And then you see a refreshing change where you have a guy who is the chairman, who can be referred to as the leader of the party, so that it becomes easy for us confidently to say that, oh, but our leader...
Diversity. Okay.
You know, so that those who have those other ideas and who do not want to, you know, will now begin to, you know, rally behind us. That, oh no, but it is more like a variety.
Okay.
It's not Akan, it's not only Akan and the rest. So it could be a remote reason for it, because it always like happens, and we are looking at history. And history keeps...
History also, well, what you mean, you want history, Nasi, but AC.
But AC, that's the word, AC.
Yeah.
Etumisi.
Etumisi, yes. Etumisi. I was for the I go to and now you need to send my and Kono ni HB and the Kono a baby. So far, regions, what's up, Wakaka?
Well, we're using more of our people there to do some of the strategical, as you said, the Biden strategy. If you didn't come early, then there are things that you have to do.
Yes.
Take a lot of things into consideration. If you look at some of the regions and you look at the number of polling stations there and compare with others where the numbers are huge, then you may want to target some of them quickly.
The huge,
Quickly, yes. So we are moving forward.
Now what Canada, as Ghana High Commissioner to Canada, what not to saying?
Well, the thing with Canada is that it's one of the G7 countries. And so they are not different from maybe Britain or Germany, US or something. In fact, they put the two together and they call themselves North America. That is Canada and the US.
Yes.
And they call themselves North America. So their ideas are a little different. It's like when you go for interview for visa, and then they ask you, have you been refused visa before? Then you say no. You die finish.
Why?
They share information. So when you go, you know that US has
refused you before. Cannot cry.
UK has refused you, but you go and say no. Now when they refuse you, they will say, oh, I beg you, I didn't understand. I thought you were asking whether they have refused me visa for Canada before. But we didn't put Canada. So have you been refused visa before?
Mali visa crowd, you refuse you out there.
Because they share, you know. So they make things a little difficult, so that you don't, people who are even coming to school, those who are paid school fees, they still can deny them visa. So it's a little place where I would say are not too easy with granting visas.
Yeah.
The other thing.
But more the amount, so much the amount Canada. Visa, 5 years.
Oh yes,
near
just like that. They can just give you, and especially when you finish school there.
Yes.
They easily can give you opportunity to practice your trade, through which that's why most people stay there.
Yes.
They say, oh, you have done masters here, you want to try your hands. Whilst you are working, then you put in permanent stay and blah, blah, blah. Before you say Jack, the person has become even a citizen of Canada.
Honorable, you could choose the best Chairman to help us break the 8. I believe Onungwa and what they need thereby. No, na Mr. Abuaji, Madala Abuaji, no was State Housing Company Limited. Was a make us just watch out, we an old friend. To make us just watch out, papa. Na. Okay, I said vet in the listen about one thing. Yes, vet in about one thing. A brand to be was say, or what na or person do contact no your campaign coordinator or what amount. Now, Pawasem papa from afar. Now, yes, sorry, my memory self just say one line be assessment of MPP, especially second half year to say performance.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think that we are allowing the NDC to decide on the narrative. They are taking us for granted, and of course, I mean, you have the media, you know, which are also becoming a little critical, you know, of the thing. So that it's like every day you want to wake up to hear something like scandal. Sometimes the full facts are also not there. It may not be true at all.
Yes.
So we should up our game when it comes to explaining the issues. And you cannot, like we have all heard, external shocks appear. External shocks is what are affecting the economy. And we must be bold to accept it and let others understand. Just like you played the voices, US talking about 7 times. I'm coming from a campaign tour. One person told us that he is a clearing agent.
Okay.
And the container was just around 3,000 pre-COVID.
$3,000.
Today it is 12.
Yeah, 12,000.
$12,000. Yes. So the person has to cough up this money to bring in the container and come and pay duties. And then you think he's in business for profit.
Yes, why not?
So what will he do?
That's what they can cut also.
So he will pass on.
Yes.
Everything. And so now you have problems with inflation, high cost of living and the rest. But that was not the situation pre-COVID.
Yes.
So some of all these difficulties are external. They are more of external. Well, people just, I mean, our opponents keep, you know,
happy on it,
happy and saying no, but all countries are going through, and you have your own problem, including somebody they call a country director of World Bank, also saying that which fundamentals? Which, if he saw the fundamentals which were not correct, why didn't he talk about them? Why didn't he talk about those fundamentals which he felt were not correct? It is now that he's talking. I don't even know whether we are still under an IMF or World Bank program. I don't know whether we are still under it. But
no.
If you remember, when we came, we promised that we're going to win ourselves.
Yeah, and you did. Move free.
I mean, that is a good thing to talk about, you know. But now they say country director. What is he talking about? Is he supervising?
That be said, whether you are on the program or not, no, or more office was saying. But remember, a quick question back on my last question. Harun Edrusu, minority leader. Now, what can say? At least, you know, my achievement back on my achieve. Yes, it's me bomb powder. Every foot of Mudi say, or what team has stop a buying from generating the needed revenue. And so they are priding themselves with that. What kind of opposition is that?
That is very, very unfortunate, because we know that the reason for borrowing is because we are unable to balance our budgets.
Yes.
The internal revenues that we have to raise are not sufficient. So there's always a hole and a gap. It is for that reason that those who pay taxes, which are direct, you try to look at indirect ways of collecting the taxes. And one of the indirect ways is looking at E-levy. If people are able to send out money and there's a huge income out there and you want to tax, and somebody is saying that I'll make sure that you never get this thing out, to the extent that he's patting himself at the back and saying that, yes, I was able to do it for 6 months. Now, if there are difficulties, why are you complaining? Because you need that money to work. And that is a way to go, so you don't go outside to go and borrow. You borrow, they say, why? You are going to borrow. Let us bring it from within.
Yeah, that's what they be.
So what kind of opposition? So that everything they did was deliberate.
Yes.
It was just deliberate. To make sure that the thing never saw the light of day.
Okay. All right, Abu Safunti, ni ayiko to and now our spice of Baba national chairman. It's ni pacho yadasi.
Thank you.
That's fine. Ni ayiko to na motene kano format just what position there with DB power na wa partner so akonya sanyina so and na yede edi enkomo na mamenka for Serenity Babsalt amount Serenity Babsalt make for amount said would the good way say would the dware ya pacho. You see, ye toxin in now increase with energy level. Essentially, build the immune system, no, so now I relax with muscles in in fact a sama was skin so etoso a man yem nome it make a full serenity bath salt no ebi edi amount or more a watch what more or more tema Little George Health Shop tema Jinako Pharmacy Committee 1 Ashaman Ekus Pharmacy Okanshi and Ajimax Health Shop on Somuku Frudia Abekala Pass in some station and omo na some say Orobo Kini Japan Ekas or call say Krum no Kuhun Kofono Chichikasa Treatment Center na ehonye enika krempo into what this kapudobi to hodom say yem piska kra enso so ne face hospital no na busua ye bie account bi e wo honom account number no ende e wapa ba 15 digits into me say that enke no mo na mum no ko ADB branch bia eko ADB office bia ko a wo se Omanfm flood victims account no obeso this kra eba betum ana se wa nko ADB so a obetimi mama mumu number 0542 869 979 0542 869 979 na obetimi ediska no akoto sa mumu account we mu eno edi a wo so ye Kenneth Techi e Japan pacho enye Kennedy e Japan Kenneth Techi e Japan fa ekotum aha na eja yonko da no da woni de bi kwa jame ya adoma bi wakoto da acha na buso ni bi beko ntino meka fo eho ede ama opa plan cities extension project so cities and habitats and omode aba no project management center no e Central University campus mutual pram wo kwotena edamu wo kono wo ye tenant wo betwere kakra obewie no na waba be landlord umpewe na opede intipacho ko plan cities extension project omo telephone numbers no 055 55 30 300 055 55 30 300 and 0557 054 635 obetima check on website near www.newaccra.city www.newaccra.city mamo share Facebook live ni na so no ye chia mo obetimi the messages no aba ne patro ya mane short concise and na mane decent so misra wa mane decent banis ni decent mane sure say betimi reading e wesen mo na nyame ya adoma e chena June 24 2022 the youth our future hope. The youth our future hope. Isbeth International Conference Center. I was nyane. Area 1 p.m. Kain ne jinem na Orobo Kene Japan atna se na Bishop Dr. Richard Owusu Echan founder Living Grace Ministry International. Ono so atna se na Emmanuel Ajiman Bedu ex Blaster player and then Mr. Ransford Entry CEO Sun City FM. I was nyane na chairperson also. Okochire Dom Sechi akon the second. Drobohine na drobohine akasa no ono so eti adwam and a special guest odene ho akosua fima dwaben the second nana domahima ono so akotena se na chese robo kene Japan edi na bra bomu esuahu nyina so akotudwa etime ahye mrante de mabawa enkran se achiazo emui ntiname adom echena pacho 1 pm nyina ye nkonom ebia wo questions bi epeso obusa 0244 851 572 0244 851 572 eno na make for them dependable herbal home obusa for dependable herbal home omodi nrubi ababonten adom malachium mixture adom plus capsules and mixture malachium mixture na dey patrol treatment of malaria fever tiredness any body weakness and na plus capsules and mixture no so no ebia pulse wo so koko ho ase ne yeken and na adom natural man mixture ye no dey ye say natural man what natural man na memaduro ye nchichi migire se wa wote ase adom ladies care capsules no so maduro migire se no so wote ase ti no menchichi mun koda mun kwadi bi dependable herbal home omu wo kaswa obsi datus international school obetima from 0242 223 555 0242 223 555 and then radla nyame adoma echini fie social media activities ni na no social activities ni na ebekoso nti pacho koje radla lemon flavored lemon flavored refreshing alcoholic beverage pacho e wakan mu and they to say portable pa kwana e se ho kama na de call baby Fred DBS Colas Enterprise mukumasi 0209 646 533 and Abeta from Wakra office no 0200 111 101 FDA for Edomusa Ashesa and Kratui as JK stationery for some country say omo the natural products ni biaba oba edu the birthday with school a obetimi customize exercise books and as pen pencils station ni nyina bi edama wo mo na omo de eco school enti friend atarage for no and JK for mo telephone number ni 05012599 and 0593811088 JK Industries and Investment Limited or say everything to anything paper. All right. I was a phone to aircraft or Collins who's a man former MP or Bettinassi or I hope see you via doing so aircraft was Bettinassi. Now for the meantime, Michael was Watson aspiring national is now more for a movement. You talking about move free for the PM. Are they? That is a good people. This is suspicious and
many machines are changing. Who can be?
I remember who near my.
A
Cosibas as that.
So can be.
Make I cry. Oh, so you have no idea. Colossal Maquada, LPM, a coincidence. Professor Tuko was there's no mere coincidence in this world. It's one that catch them. Pope. To your marshal. Oh, there be Pope. Oh, I'm bossing. About 9:13. About 9:13. The Pope. Mama of 30 minutes uninterrupted. Yanko. Many. Oh no, Pope Kasako. That is a. Last 2 weeks now, Bahano. Last week. A man are you go to in air affect or started brothel. I would have brought from the Uchin and Waka.
Okay. Okay. In a chin corner, maybe. Tipabu back at home.
Matty. Some of your you want me home. Now, and you bring so far, veteran, you different.
Minjin, this say, and come obey.
Okay. I didn't say.
If we say this year, Moanami, regional organizer. And she said, my covert and not ye me from there. Now you say, Namin send Fatasami regional organizer, but I'm a regional organizer. It is an insult to our party. Say, yen Sadianaka, a bay insult to our party. But maybe did you say, Omunim, Sanya Mano, say, Obia, why deputy regional youth organizer, why regional youth organizer, no be regional organizer. Now, Oba vetting for national, near in the frame. And no, they can be rem.
This is be now ye be last minute.
Be last minute, non come.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Why not?
Say, Ocean near my Emma won't me inquire, say, be why you cow crasabu, why you cow cacra. And I say, a beer, yachiwa to me was Saki be. Sanime now, so no. Some Kitwane Kayan, my it's not Ed and say a beer beating me, a genus baby so a yime, a film.
Let's tell them about MP about MPs now, Mount Quadjuma and running and Mabo Lester. I'm a bonina, mean your time, my senses to be. And now Quacosi Palan Bequa India. What I saw about you? Oh, Mitimo.
Can you ever call promise and Obama?
There is so young parliament is going to say, a banning young numbers of parliament. Say, it's a pop. Before I will campaign, no crown, and Koma would dinner and me say, Obama may both voices, a beauty crana. What Mahama voice, no, what Joe Biden voice, what Gordon Brown voice, now what Henry Bruce voice, the means of what ya.
Me patch manty voices, and I need now Cambomana a dinner now or more.
Okay, Nina say COVID-19 aba, Russia and Tokwa aba. Affective yes in Ghana kahun. But more can once a more, you can once a more, and this is followed by John Hamasi in your true. And you're not correct. Na bibintra na US President Joe Biden aka say ene ma say bi ko bobo akọ 1,000% shipping. Former finance minister, former prime minister of UK was someone put in his estimation about 800 million people and na one share akomkra bi kun wo na inflation cost UK no cost ra was it we are face one of the worst moments a global economy is an walker and the home voices are me boy no kana messing up now wo ya branch when you feel what to crying, wouldn't see this in my air cost war. Now, me perceive Busa will say COVID-19. Any Russian to qua, any Ghana, a current a year economic conditions are you woman. At the same, what is the relationship?
No crap, say, oh, share Ghana, say, you can't a simua. You can't be a simuna into mini Ghana and free yasin. Debbie. Okay, I did to me Ghana free yasin. Eddie and Kibiti Malka says, COVID-19 a buy, no, whom Susan saw no, and yadia a bit me a Kagana for. But say, Shimu. A drew baby a Timmy Cobobisia US for us to me be chiska. Yours Oshay economy na a ticket. Oshay car, ye dear, busy 500 billion. Yes, 500 billion. Oshay America is for na. Bebrina Wiska a brosa 500 billion na ye comes. Uncle beat me aye, a boy. If I chose Washa. Emrepi no ye niema bibraye ye no from donor countries. Make I say COVID ebaye India for donations are no de my omujaye. If we say omo no COVID na ka mama omunyame osi omo dem no omutimi koyi nyame no betu gu abonten so. Say omunyame na ntimi anje omo COVID mreso. Omo bosom no. Bosom na ntimi anje omo COVID mreso nti omo bi ya to gu abonten. Na Ghana, yenya president kukudru for be say. Media, se me many pe woodie. Me sika ferry. Me disika be boni pan ho ban. Me economy be boni pan ho ban. Se de be nipa no enwu. Na se omo enwu a ya sore e de wo makopre asa piska na ba. Me hu ne say COVID no na dan kwaku for do che leadership. And the oche no o kansem bi sansem na fi na ba o se enipa wu a untimi emfa ne ma back by say economy say ya obitimi the economy na ba back it means say na onim say economy no COVID ba be say economy no na economy no say ya yen aye di nim de sa the economy no be back enti de sie a ye ka say o man ni mu aye den no na na dodan kwakufu a ehun yansa
ekan okay
enti o kan ya abemu no mom yensa ngintum say o se ye betimi aye ni ye enti ye fa gidie bi ese ne fata en support no na yensa anye ni ye because o kan ebemu na o yenso chairman I could to can assemble my sa container fees.
Yes.
Previously, 3,000 SD.
Yes.
She said about 12,000 USD.
Easy.
The patch and no share say how many percentage? Almost 300%.
Yes.
The patch 300%. And she say any biano 300%. And now okota de near to a be 100%. Maybe when they say 300% couple, they can reflect ye. But ni na no aye human face eba omo hwen say oh we utum bebre be ha dwen etimi ente so me say mo adaro ma ho che na ba enye Ghana nko a but God minya je ya na ye pese mo ye nse won say wabo Biden voice wabo obo UK former prime minister bi so voice
yes Gordon Brown
omo brofo no ya na yeso ye nte but ya na me sere say e bia wo fa me mabusuani a Nana Srampa or no to UK. No fano. O fano now yen interview high me chrome for more and for any say Srampa de or Yamfuni out to UK. It is all no cassa name my idea home jedi as
at a point in time or Saberman a number no way. Should I a special number the true?
Yes.
And my Ghana for woman on it. As a voice notes. HSF. Me family where we Belgium. Me to Belgium. Say first time me to fuel say. And the Galo later could do say. But a drew back it's not very exhaustive say be in now a drew baby I say a magana for so now be so tia say debut. These are leaders. American President Ekasa. Former Finance Minister Esheka, Chancellor of the Esheka, former Prime Minister Gordon Brown. Almost you know, you said that boy no man for this. Hey, and yes sell money from for nakofa a kwebru a watata sma so and then the workers was all bedroom. What does he? Aha, you don't think you know. But you continue.
Yes, and he said they make an mimiji say a juhua mobeto aso ama Ghana for whom the chrome na NDC for entroni or Mumfucho Mutugu a month for any no yet me a ye every ho. Say NDC de a comna accordion more position. On say Omon a Jumaye ed in a mawomo. So Omo ba, Omo and say or some dom sabe boom. Now the goo ho, no composition or many be it's koyasa. Because ye napco registration or moko akoye no so monkoye edwuma bana so mko akope bi om so monkope omo de so mbabet na radio station so atumfutro aguye ni enka obenya pa ne se free SHS abagana na free SHS ese wiase mu ni na ye se wo pese o ma ohiani ani sikani ye pa ma osikani ohiani no nko school ese na nadan kokufu ado amahia for opportunity se omo so manko school no meye esikafo bi my baby by no say or be Mexican no here near a pay. Until who was a canin or Japadia one a different some boss I can't home out no here be a pay. By Papa we are by was yes, maybe mamma suku free. No more to me any esika for a bay pay. Nkabain Benny. Inti NDC for almost and yano no more show. Omodiane say look few na omba betina ho enyano e no moshe but say the sounds bu omaya enyeyi enkoniye nti Gordon me dem make che etiefo yenim say omde omunim niema pa ewo NPP munde NPP ye boa Ghana man yenim say omde omunim na ebe koso akache omo say achia na mui na achia no nso no enye na nadodan kwakufu ado epe anase NPP amamuo no epe na de ye ne say sa COVID no any Russia Ukraine war no enamasa anyema we na aba na ejidi say sedo na nadodan kwakufu ado nimdi mo kan se obetimi aye no memegidi se enche enyema be sha ase abafom ama hoto nso abaye Ghana force but the hia ni gidie ni mpaibo se enso ye be ka che Yakobos o mani nimde ni ahode no nkoso enye sa nyema no emwaye na megidi se bibia be bafom kama
ame mune ba Kwame amakwa wa sending message here what twa picture we twa mu an we do full station or London then we twa picture said the message here a year 189.9 per liter. 1 pound. Yes, almost 2 pounds. Almost 2 pounds. In fact, diesel put they do 2 pounds per liter. Wow. And rich ya me commute and rich ya me for UK by near 1.161 and the baby pay 159. Just last month this year I drew 189 for petrol and a diesel 205. Now you see 1 pound yes says you see almost 10 cedis.
1 pound almost 10 cedis.
82 pounds a year. What am I father say will be 19 cedis.
Yes.
It means 1 liter 19 cedis. It would the 19 cedis times 4.5.
4.5.
Hope the boy my ye. So which I now say they
19 cedis times
4.5 times 4.5. 85.5
per gallon.
Per gallon.
Cedis per gallon.
Wow. 85 cedis.
85 cedis per gallon.
No Ghana has here.
And I had 50 cedis.
85 cedis. Now you see, we because we say, oh, now almost so more a friend say almost salary than I was so a yampa. UK a then fierce room or demono or just 700 pounds per month. 700 pounds per month. Ghana 7,000 cedis per month. What better that compare?
There be no taxes are be cheap. We are sad dying on gas, MIU, electricity MIU. And on Quano Shana Yajan bed.
Omo emergency gas a son now could make me now about 10 pounds. Also, first
roughly 6,300.
Yes,
Ghana
and per month. And yet, super CEOs in the red side and Mawobo. Popo Twasso.
Inti Wadaroma said the Ekafa economy no hono. And one patch Wadaroma, matche, my yes, Mamiji say economy in a babija branny. And me kakra edi enemy. They say no me can say abotre no se Ghana for inya yen ka se ade na ho chenyu a ho trend ewo ho na enye Ghana nkwan wiase mama sen na but ye de abembo ma NPP so omrama Ghana ho metoye enye wiase mama sen na eno aso nye se hu ne se bibi nso si wiase mba bia itimi affect ye enti de esi na affect ye no omo emfanche na ehu ekwan yi na ebefa so aka bom na ya manage Ghana no me da se God
me da se Pope so far campaign to saying
nyame adom campaign no yegu so aye na nyame adom di no so wura form yi de ama enije a abam ye se odu ba bia youth organize omo kan say Pope odi enim se ofri mu nti odi wonim ye hawo na ote ye hawo ase eno nti na ye pese ye boa ne de wokọ if so odu ho a obeka ye sun no aka ye hawo if say probably omo ma be nan obi enu a ofri regional youth organizer akọ national da
pacho me ba facha me pa abose for na edo messages na ye more experience ba menu ba ko Leo was say no of filling the tank 45 to 50 pounds but for the past 2 weeks of filling 82 pounds
nice almost 100% increment
yes 45 to 50 pounds but you say the 82 pounds you know and engine put 1.6 capacity yes
nice a small tank
1.6 engine capacity of filling no 82 pounds
maybe I didn't see it inti minua wadaroma yegu so aye no mo ekasa na nyamiadom yakọ other regions yakọ hu die ho omo nso no asoye campaign mu dendenden a omo a eye maye na omo maka nso a yenya ma ho no wadaroma omo hwe anim se enche yebeba ho ye the message of hope ebeto omo obabi omo na omo asom ni adwen ekwan a yebefa so a yebetimi I win 2024 elections no na God dey know him say elections ekwa 2020 no say free SHS yenya 1 vote kwampo amfiri ho free SHS yenya 1 vote kwampo amfiri ho
oh that be ebi
would my contra make us ye hwe free SHS no say before free SHS no anya implement in 2016 no ye win with 1 million difference
yes
now afia implement free SHS you implemented NAPCO no na eso akotie do 500,000 free SHS vote no way
no but it could have been worse if not free SHS
the patch other ma be
there's that possibility
o can say engine because o can say engine
okay
it's debatable
and you know okay them
the patch one thing say na galamsey o hodada but na expect say any bia no sa galamsey fo free SHS fo obna under youth wing entina yenim se ekwakoshe galamsey fo nimu ana research ben ye I won say ye be reduce by 500,000 yeah anya research I didn't need anya research as an institution as a youth wing e wa bra test con for e wo ho omo on break omo betine fi omo pa adwuma no munya adwuma nye body me kai say 2012
I will agree with you say how to deploy test conform you know there I will agree with you but to say free SHS government no and me am benefit a single vote that one is highly contentious
very but
it has raised a very urgent
yes
just look at it holistically ye the buy say any bia no also amount for appreciate true votes say sa policy we are government there by there is the best so far it also could be aji hwi ekoto boa na ekoto boa beneficiaries the beneficiaries no wo de young students no kwa no more than 500,000 yes
no but no muka 1.2 no say na di 80 years
cumulatively wo de find 500,000 wo de find 500,000 about 500,000 but before that now you lead with 1 million
yes
so we're expecting say and can be as 500,000 can make 1 million and 1.5 all things being equal
okay
in economics me pa just so who but say ceteris paribus say na koye enti
but you don't also forget to say elections there it is a salad myriad of issues we die nie me you say me suspect say e be free SHS krampo e le sebu aban wi because ebi anya no a say the na pent up anger bi o baby asobrachie bi na wo party fo mu ahomaso bi ye na wo party fo bi ma ya nto ama abada ma aban no free cities na bi ese mi save mu
godin pacho adaroma ahomaso 2016 na ahomaso ho na ahomaso ho
da bi
me pacho
na mo minister
2016 me pacho mbao
2016
near war executives. One thing is ministers by implementation policies or implementing your components and getting down mass. And ministers by an woman were poised for power say or my first time. It's first time Okasa Homasua, a baby first time I say the minister be I Homasua. And even Oya Homasua no executive ben the Bible Kai. I mean who say because of minister we are Homasu intino, then I be reducing votes.
Okay, so you continue.
Mimi who say Yen sector ni. So that you can be on track. Say yan sector ni. Mebuno no anyi bia no se utimi eka omo bomu ye e resource wo ma mebuno no e ma wani je omutimi eboa wo e ma also increase wo votes. God, going into 2024 elections, say they see 2020, yeah, all these policies, implement all these policies there, and also extra careful in 2024. Extra careful and say, and one also say, Oma bidi mebunanim, Omo experience ekuta womo. Maybe I told him say, even in NDC before so Babaye national executive, this is why constituency and our regional executive. Because omo pese omo ehwe usuba o constituency ho time e ma o position na e ma o to me no omo hwe usuba o region ho time e ma o to me no se na netie ansenya ma kwan amoaba national yemi adom me nkoa meni nipa yewuma yama me position o region amedi position o region 3 occasions me suban na me de somye no omo ko so promote me because me so ho brasimu enye dinimu edi adwuma omo pese na mejema omo na mejema omo sisi no going to 2024 ye penipa bi sa ya so na hwe enye obi afi na ye ko hwese na ode ko hye ana ode ko hye no krepa ni se undi nipa so especially mebunu so pen na e your first time okodi mebunu anim a mebunu anim die no edi ne papa wan hwa obejai position ho ato ho akọ okay say NDC youth leader bi ojai position ho dwane sidi
why resign the moment but virtually non-existent.
So on resign because pressure never no or resign who said Guasia can ever on resign the best thing is obeyra. Yem pesa didn't be mu because any partner or more bano or bia will be obabeka to me or my promise or Baba Shebo be Shebo or do another eke emua and no one no Muhuni beam. But Madaroma, she say Yenya break say a pese 2024 ye wene mo mienhwe obia yenya brese ono so epi to me amani nuanom efri say to me no yenya ena me nua a wo ye youth organizer ye betimi aka say because of adwuma wa ya aboanti nye ma DCU ana ye ma MC etimi nua wo ye youth organizer wo tie me say o kope obi oba be lead the youth wing aprobi a nani edene wa ye adwuma ni bi da o tie adwuma na se a obetimi edi animu say de be ya ye wini biema udc an MC aope an deputy CEO aope an CEO aope obinya biem ye nuanom CEOs any ministers omo ho nso se mo boa nso amomwa obi obetima ye adwuma no amia wene na opposition da okuta no wasa asom anye sa ye kofa obi based on say madam fono no minua no ofri mi krom wono krom po de mesoma na me pe obi asoma mi hu no okoye ne sa eno no emwa party no yemfa emotions enko babia ye duri e say no say strategic in a sense oye wonua krompa akase menua wontimi nye ba do betimi aye any pope no yemfa ma pope no onyemwa yen na ekotumi ye nya tumi ni wi aye so ye de tumi na boa wo anye sa opposition tina eja ne say sa dum so aye se be kom opposition no medwe ho a mente ase God don't say the opposition is saying KB had in closing this time. And that to closing no.
for the GBC for the closing the first.
The closing the first. And about 12. Can we are 12? Now radio stations no closing. Yen share you hairdressers. Yen you more hoye babes. The Brennan a jay or majuma could not quite home. No more tonsu because of doom so. Yen share graduates are yent me for almost school because of COVID. IMF conditionalities. It's but your sign at the command and the senior sacco reverse genana. Yes, sir, Madaroma said the BM co reverse geno. Mumian share obia winim de our politics in terms of youth management. Why you be that? No beti miaje. No matter baby free ba. Na ye mwano na wonye. No the yen lady youth no korene 2024. A hono baby pibia ye jainesi. Because also no victory ni ba. Neni beje. Ukraine say, you are by ma, and you be no semi yet, Mbodu may be a beco stroke class and say, NDC beba, because NDC bar almost say economy in the cry. And the Mbodu phone, Ayana Ed, then say, Mumojuma Moyeno, Ebecoso. It's here there at the said there any day to delegates him, meaning delegates, meaning say, Omuti hapa papa. Na memi jidi say, and Sema Macain, a beboa, ama omashu shemuye. Ashe obi obetimi aye adwuma no ma boa no amana win. If we say 2024 elections no, so is going to be a youthful election.
Beba be busa the difference between 2024 elections and 2016 elections. Beba busa as a question this is. Je busa for my close what do not have the poop one of the common no. Nana him ma papa bi of Winga Gumwa is constituency nana and then you ye chawa papa. Obi sending messages here on also I thought Germany was sending fuel in here. If you say 5 different fuel stations, a bit a year 2.16 euros per liter. 2.16, a bit 2.37 per liter, a bit 2.39. A bit 2.40. A bit yes, a bit 2.40 euros per liter. Wow. Yes, and na it told me na. I can't remember what my next week is. You call West African countries in the Nigeria, Nigeria for the Ashe Benin for the Kaka near their company who say Abuchi the Empire Africa. They so to say. They are also a home and Koba. Obisi Pope is communicating very well. Obisi. Most of the free SHS students could not vote in the 2020 elections because MPP did not help them transfer their votes to their constituencies during the elections. Note that they registered when they were in school. Obviously, Pope has the capacity and the experience to energize our slightly giving up youth, who will play a very important role in our quest to break the 8. Kwame Japan is Legon. And now, what they did, NDC got more votes from the free STS graduates than the MPP, and I'll tell you why later. Okay, Mati, was it more votes? Okay, Mati, no, Akma. Later, be this and common. We should do okay. Time's up on what they buy. Time's up on what they need. All right, Pope, you have to
Into Gordon, what are Roma? Ye, dear, can I say, okay, say election year, because yeah. So, ocean year pa, maybe say, in 2024, no, now youth percentage, no, edu 74%. 74% na youth percentage, and you can say youth percentage na 40 and below to 18. Currently, Osha sa 35 ebano almost 54%. Na se ebe sa dia and also my nico youth no ye pam. If we say youth no be 70% more na 74%, it means say yema obia onim se de si manage youth, se de si di mebunanim eba mu a ebe boyen ama ye di youth no ko awene. Enu nti na ye hwe say ensa eba be so youth ni mu no should be an experienced hand. And you can say any experience in terms of youth management. Now me can say because of my profile from dining hall prefect, from SRC president.
Dining hall that's why I can't do.
Daniel Horno. Me pacho nim.
Oh no, they say what they say the job experience.
Me pacho one thing say eno kwa no di eno no de DMPO. Eno kwa no de DMPO. Ba onye SRC kan ho de im senka utu President Mahama.
Go to speaker cry.
Go to President Mahama. So enti Daniel Prefect Deputy Regional Organizer, Regional Organizer. Now you say, may na about youth and it's about mobilization. It's in kwaya ye faso ebobwa mebunano edoma achieve resource epese achieve.
Me question back on the MPP bar from 2017 bar. So many youth programs, initiatives, say NEIP and kakra and ranted them about bitibakwa jiskakra, no we are bebre. But still. One more, and ranting about us all can, and a young and a boy a commodity, and I will be a pay white collar jobs as many be ministries is a fin and tickle you who. How many times I saw I walk what is will be a compensation or better as giving service? How many times? In the part time compensation. It's that then you know, it's in a whole best 700,000. It can publish a be a number 700,000, 650. Son and number one man. I then now. Youth timin try na more encouraging saying take advantage of signing my name. It is all better as a youth organizer. Saying now but me am motivate to more encourage you much say there are other alternatives. We are graduates and chess na as okay more Ministry of Energy.
But the matter was when you said National Youth Organizer, a year was said yes say overbo youth no amani in terms of good policies of our government.
Yes.
What also sell your government no good policies no to the youth. Na omuhu. No crane say good policies here working. Mebunda so complaining. Me pacho na also be a more direction. Why not also my direction? Direction e my na nkwa na say yama. Wadaroma enoni ye National Youth Organizer so odwuma bakwa also ye.
Yeah.
Ekwan abefa so aye no. Yes, ekwan abefa so aye no. Eno nso no say one puti up structure ebitimi aboa mo aye a wonko as individual na say onu nuanom be nsie bia nam no. Montimi nye sa de man.
Obi ntwa no hwe November 2021. Ya Urake no frata finance minister eko parliament eko ready budget and waka say you start biba program by the friend you start obanta packers program eba na de nyina no emrante ne mabawa we say district level obetimi nya 10,000 ukwa regional level kwa obetimi nya 50,000 to even to 1 million and I sorry 100,000 and I'm makan wa have 4 months ago na me say aden na menti bibi fi youth no ho say omo na body sele a phone na wo ye no o phone esu but o phone ko e friend say ad na won ko register na wonya phone din na nya krata se be sa ska we na ayi ne bab ye betimi da na akwa apply empreko phone na wo ye no wo e bia pigless 14 e maame ba ko be ma mienu say ni say mun ko register na me pese me hu bibi sa say ka be ko verse district no na kasa ankomo no ekoso wo ba de na be ye
Gordon me ma ye krompo ma sha say you start no ho bibi
okay
me call Eastern Region tour me ma youth organizers who say you start no omunje no omo ho de roma manfo brochures e menya me mo brochures ni because a government project but youth organizer also my youth no e ben government no one also G project no now so because government in aban yema NDC NPP now but say the be ya wo nkrofo no enyera nti no wo fasa project no ko wo mebuno no straight direct no mu say na ekoso and me kon brochures ni bigu me kem me duru ha na me no makasa na macheche macheromo so omo so mfa nko no mo nkoboa edu ba bia o say register ye bebo mu na anya no mu na register on say aban no o hwe kofiofo mu ene makemu a omo nipo na da se bremo ene brenyamo omo nso ayo mafam de e wo radio stations a also omoko omakobo hu dahuru but enye de bia no bia beti because ene they omo mutie e wo boiling point no different from Tuesday omo beti ye enti se dahuru no yen na e de hu jim bi eboa especially youth organizers yen na e de hu jim eboa your party for be bra omo no nya do mbeti radio your party for be bra omo kwa omo need light e wo omo nkrase no beti radio and omo hwe internet It is ano wo youth na ye wa ban no also gisiw nan so na bohu da hupa e kire amanfo na omo so edo omo hyem anye se omu na be ya o hwe napco eguso o hwe sa even before that nip say no omo kire entrepreneurship skills
yes
omo kire me hu ne se bona af say me mabunu bebre enya ebi femu because eduru ho a na de me se me bo omo nkaye se bibi say ekoso eti omo nko no omo nkwaji sa training no and baby I enjoy from it. Oma benefit from it so. Eti wadaroma eno no eka national youth organizer unyumani bi ho. If we say wa ma o man kwa edu ba bi o mbebo so bo say wa ma o ma hu. Yeah. Eti won so also mo hu. But misemo communicators so e o mo so mboaye. So mo ba radio no mo betena se no mo kasa no mo de ba ku bi afem. No mo de ba ku bi afem. No mo ba ku bi afem. Me just say the more ye na ye bomu no na the more na ma manfo so etiase na ye nuanom so a omonti ase no so no ehe ne so omobeko anye bia no se nip eni districts at least all say hwekwan be fa so be man aba district and I say be mo mahu omu youth organizers e ho no makobusa omo me dey frankly speak me for NPP it me ko che me NPP youth organizer about you start na no so ye NDC ni na okono chewa fine but me de can say on fan chere NPP for na omu hu kwan no na omu nwrem because NDC ni obeje krompo wi a on say nyi yaye o sa be yeti yaye
because me ade me ha me ne say aban e the opportunities be braba ye be wie no na we aka emrante yante say abra constituency bia wo youth and we youth organizer constituency bia
but youth organizer or constituency but youth organizer why na manate
no but
no crane say nip enye you start brochure ya me dey call eastern region ya enka ye mu bebre kwampo nim say you start ndi bia next year kwampo ne be ye edru ba bia eya na guidance and directions ehia because also youth no bibi say by ya say ti me bom na from na e train wo mo no mo boa with communication down there e do na e che say e ma aban no aben wo mo me pa cho so atia say ye mfa ne say me nwa akua a wote Valley View in chen hoyi ani ma me anti mage say akua e pe say wo involving itself in such you starter me pa cho be den Valley View dey bi obe akra na pa cho do ti binduri me pa cho do ti sankore 1000 acre we shed some corn 1,000 acre na utimi say kwan wom ye ono no so pay busa he no onko o ma ka na
4,000 acre
so ye free baby 1,000 acre
no be ye fu ho sa ho
me pacho ono no e fa ka abakra eno nko an ye almost 200 ne kone ne ba wo ji so be ye eno nti na o say yetimi free youth organizers na ye mbomu ne say de ya ban ni dia benie ye bohu de huro boaye ban na ebe boaye na etimo nko fom na nko kanche ye nkrofo no muso ntimi nya ho mfaso so but eba ni jaima communicators no ko na say jaima you PROs in those institutions and agencies na emwa ye ya ban no emwa ye nkrofo nso so enu nti o say wo national youth organizer senya me boa na me be ya sanye man me meji ato me ho so because me minim se ehon no na me nua no ma o me youth organize o ma me foot soldiers o ma o mo wo form o me adwuma ma ye because of faso bi o mo pe no o mo so benya o mo mfaso na eno so ba na onya mfaso na se okọ akoye party adwuma owo anida so wom no wa hoden so a o de be sa party adwuma no
mate pop mama 2 minutes ne wrap up
me pacho the me can se mechia all youth organizers across the country
yes
mechia party chairman secretaries women organizers mechia regional executives na but it's in enche embrena drew no it's yahwe akabe 3 weeks for elections no na enim say no do bia can say or say it me break 8 no yes e be mo so see protective power na ye wo no bebe timi a protective power ania win 2024 eye mabunu no itimi sremo mabunu no boaboafo nde mayemfa indiago we shouldn't compromise on it yenhwe obi a obetimi aye adwuma no obi obetimi nso ne obi a waye bida amiehu because yes do onim to no na de ne gina he
akono all right that was
into wadaroma ye kan no yes wadaroma nso obi o nso a ono nso hwe a oh pop se de wosi nim adeye ye pese wo ye pop betimi aye campaign wa ha ma wadaroma baby awo bia no betima kun constituency organizer now ne nakokasa me pacho wada roman so campaign na no so no sika sem ka ho o pese o ye me flyer ma me o pese o ye poster ma o betima be ya ma me wada roman de wo bi a pese o de boy campaign bia fabra especially se o betuka akọ youth organizer ho na kokasa se pop no ni po betima ye adwuma mi awe ni 2024 into two man me meji se eno so hu hia pa
abuza for campaign no an ye guso na a start pacho se wo ye aspirant na se bia wo bibi aspirant ne se o pese o ba boiling point pacho o free producer ana se bia po na afre me a ibita ma wa kwanya na waba
na me sa free producer bim na de masaba bim ana o ma me kwa ma me bim but me test comfort me ba me test comfort be 3 ne ba ye me youth organizers be 4 ne ba ye but me some test comfort no so no adwebre o bibia ekoso mpacho test comfort a ebi ma sha ase ehunhwamo mo kama komanto yem o mo ehunhwamo no mo ntimi ye hwe so far as amato regional elections ma na ba beto national sa na mpanyifo na ka
ba sa me so list wo ho say test con
list no e wo ho o mo to region no omo beto national na omo mo we ne region no bi ahase e threaten wo mo ye be kan wasem da
mati pope na ebusafo mbote se wo kasa de ye twa ho abasisi ye ba college so man kwa na Hobson Adoy e wo studio na ye di enkomoti ye twa ho abasisi ebusafo mo twa
Still Franco Trading your phone papa fee. Franco Trading Enterprise our phone BAB. Say yes Samsung, Nokia, Itel, Infinix, iPhone, Huawei,
Oh, our original laptops and desktop, computer and phone accessories, USB cables, phone cases, power banks, hands-free chargers, antiviruses.
Franco your new TVs about 32 and 43 inch. Franco TVs no, and need daho. Yana Jodie.
Says a crowd you hear of Franco Bia, what we turn online, auto free francotrading.com, and now download the Franco app, not to phone so free Google Play Store and our Apple App Store. And the auto online Bia, when you 30% discount. The auto Bia or the bro baby.
Shisha Franco Trading our Facebook page, you know, and our more than 100,000 likes, no.
Shannon Franco Facebook page, you know, there were more than 100,000 likes, no. Franco Trading Enterprise head office, Wadabraka, and the Roxy Cinema bus stop, no. They didn't anymore. Branches in the Subi or Circle, Osu, Tema, Medina, Hacho, La Paz, Kasua, and a Ghana for 99 and free 0355-939311.
Jack, you know my boss owns a fleet of commercial cars and he drives only brand new vehicles. Latest. Before he hired me, this is what he said. Krachi, my vehicles are my investment. It is a winning, now winning, and you buy any fuel apart from oil. Waboka, sign this undertaking.
But he was right?
Yes, and he's right.
Goil stocks only higher grade fuels, further enriched with XP3, multifunctional enhancer. More efficient, eco-friendly, and at no extra cost. Available at every Goil station at Jibebdia. Goil Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP. Higher grade fuels, excellent for modern engines and all vehicles. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Na ase ho te sen
mama o ti apon kakra na momont me se duane
enti na me de front active and chance ne pepe mu nware papa bi a wo di a wo mra ho aba no wo ye front active cereals rich in vitamins, proteins, and minerals. Fiber no omega-3 so wom a blood digestion. Every 3 years, equals 100 years. Obia to me be na a main kama put me in the breakfast, lunch, and answer pampo.
Front active. Ebe buapa.
The drink in Sunni, you want to die best. Ya de yatriano and now 1 persistre etiminumbi. And I want to complete Omanfm can etiminumbi. Now the test no, jai, obra noma main, very nutritious.
And a front active junior in sway.
Front active. Junior, the farmer no, and Koda wadi 1, equals 14 years. Ya one multimini year from no, would ensure and now milk and mexia. Now what Timanidi, Nanidenti will bring you the now supermarkets and a pharmacies. Dudua at the Pa Pharmacy Limited, branch BM or Ghana from 0302 664 832 and 0245 915 254.
FDA at Hey, boy, yeah. And mama. Fake crying.
I don't natural man mixer works for no man.
Hey, mono
Mine a remix. Mete Adum Natural Man mixture. Na say anka Adum Natural Man capsules enye nim. Adum Natural Man capsules no wo ho. Ena Adum Natural Man mixture nso aba. Ni nyina emema wadi mfie du nwotwe kro ena wonom. Capsules no eye good pa ema treatment. Na kire se ne mixture no ena oba no eboje wo so se wonum a action no amunum ha pekin kra. Me no mix anwa instant na engine so sa enumuda Adum Natural Man mixture and in the capsules and na pharmacies herbal and chemical shops etufo nko dependable herbal home Medina New Road Greenhouse and in a branch e work Kaswa opposite Delta International School 024 222355
FDA ahwehwe sa ejede nkrato emu agye atomu se eye
Akusio wa hiu akusio wa hi Shadia kakra afoni udi ko chi kakra biaka no onana rent to own yes of course rent to own a Juruhobium cities and habitat woman plan city extension project come to my mamadi rent to own ban we get the +1 package and your lifeline package a one workers when you fear and now fully service plot I will know beer any man soon beer who say a rent to own a free cities and habitat and have a planned cities extension project and chaho mamadi beer so be friend number 0577 911 101 and a 055 553 0300. Afe 055 705 4635. Website no a newaccra.city and that's a project management center at was Central University campus Mutual Pram. The Plan Cities Extension Project shaping Ghana's urban future.
Welcome to our unisex boutique, where comfort and style is our hallmark. Original Italian leather bags, shoes and belts for both men and women. Talk about looking your best and standing out on all occasions. And now our creations, where you find authentic African clothing for men, women and children. Visit us online or in store. In Tesano, behind the Ghana Police Depot. In Osu, behind the Snit Hospital. In Jolu, at the Jolu Junction, opposite the First Atlantic Bank. At the airport, Terminal 3, Departure C3, opposite Sunbra Lounge. Call us on 0244 649379, 0234 885042. Our unisex boutique, comfort and style.
Nancy who na me complaining say me da me to me nay. Me sin ne e kaka crank na fa me.
Me ba ne say
Serenity bath salt.
Serenity bath salt.
Where your body engineer, ye de organic nura hodo afra. Na so de gun so mu dware a, e na ho e na obeda. Wo de gun so mu de onesi simu a. Apropro biye ni ho bio. Obi a ne honam won ka no, me kanfo Serenity bath salt ama no. Eye alkaline ti etumi yi toxins ahodo nyina efri wo body ni mu. Woposo ye wo ya, wo de Serenity bath salt egun so mu dware a, e na ho e na obeda.
Me kwa be so me fa so de di midwuma.
Wo bata, wo de Serenity bath salt no ebegu nsuo ni mu enanea na wadem besesimadu ompepa ho kra na wada wobetumi nso de agu bucket mu na wode wo semna edware wie a wode ahohoro wo ho ompepa ho kra na wada Serenity PNL enedi aba enye na ewo pharmacy shop ene shops ahodo nyina mu ana afre 020-838-2445 ana 0504-710080 Serenity bath salt ana peaceful sleep.
Yare aye jaw entintina ho ama yare ni unya yare ben na dan krankra ama wanom ebibidru anya bofu ahuru nyina nanso unya ayare shem Grace Homeopathic Clinic one number 1 last stop and yefrefre wi Grace Homeopathic Clinic de wo de wani kire nya hye ya general consulting laboratory services general body scan physiotherapy and dietary counseling aye free yenye okapreba enura yade ma ope na obo ho ka wo de wani kire nya hye ya ya bisa o say stroke na diabetes hypertension mo jabroso wakoma mu yare ahuru ni nyina hepatitis ahuru ni nyina ye AB and C yahwe ni nyina de ama fibroid koframa ahuru a eha wo arthritis rheumatism prostate cancer awukra de yeto ne te say yamia anamerema autoimmune disorders ahuru koko ni nyina no ye hwama na wani na ye wusiwusi ana biribia ba besi sokra dia ya bro ama watini atua sekrakra yati ni yira kwan madina akati abola store eho na obehunyen Grace Homeopathic Clinic ni nyane se obepusu yang 020 0077 500 and 055 081-81-666. Grace Homeopathic Clinic. Yari yaw into Tinaho Ama Yari New.
For all your top stationery needs, Sebo Stationery, your Nataraj product, customized exercise books, and many more. And it's a fair answer was up. It was 0246-396-277. Send email our info@jkglobal.com. JK Industries and Investment Limited. Everything to anything paper.
Adepanono kofa bae wasande 3CP papa ebebua efie bia aba mese adepa de etwamu da wo de 3CP egu nsomu dware a ebo ho ban efi muamoa ho fa 3CP efre so huhuru wanu anopa bia na ma wo se ho ban wonu aduane na eja ana esohie ehyewo a fa 3CP efre so fifa so eno ano no wo hyewu wi a fa 3CP efra ensuo fifa so na beboa obebre 3CP ehye pimples epompo ekro na ekum kro ene mnimu ya wonso 3CP so de enye na wo drugstores bia mu atufo ko adepa pharmacy ene SGSSB ene hwani mu okanshi fre 0302-664-832 kumasi adepa pharmacy ewa dum ene hello FM ene hwani mu 3CP efie bia hia 3CP bambo.
Saying that inflation is going to reach 11%. Do you think it could go even higher?
It's going to be high, and Britain's going to have some of the worst inflation. But this is, first of all, a global problem that needs a global solution. We're actually leaderless at the moment, but we're not powerless. We could do what we did in 2009 and bring people together. There's a food crisis, 800 million on the verge of starvation. There's an energy crisis with oil prices going up, affecting every country. Inflation crisis, recession in prospect, and of course on top of COVID and conflict and climate change, which is affecting every country. So Boris Johnson may be going to Rwanda and then to Germany, but he really ought to be getting world leaders together, and they should concoct a plan that deals in a concerted and comprehensive way that can get oil prices down, can get food supply moving around the world, and can get control of inflation. Now, this is initially something that they can do as a global initiative by world leaders.
You said in an article in a newspaper today that the country is facing a set of challenges similar to the 1930s, the so-called Devil's Decade. Do you really think it could be that bad here?
Well, we've got protectionism, we've got war in Europe, we've got a form of jingoism and nationalism in different countries pursuing their own selfish interests, and we're in danger of having a global recession. So we have to face up to these problems. I say Churchill said that people at the time were resolved to be irresolute and adamant for drift and solid for fluidity and all-powerful for impotence, and that's, I'm afraid, where the world looks at the moment. When people say they don't know what the plan is, that's because there is no plan. We've got to get together and agree how we can combat energy prices initially and then get control of inflation. Now, there are domestic things we can do, and we can come to that, but initially you need to get world leaders together. We did it before, and we did it, of course, at other crucial times, facing multiple crises, and this is one of the biggest crises that the world has faced for many years.
Majority team now almost abosiano. Yeah, now you take Parliament and you share loans, and we approve them. And then I mean to me, I say, President Kofoji Bosiana Menhu near other year. Bosia BIA, every international agreement must be submitted to Parliament. And to be a person who Bosiana, Uncle Parliament, they'll give them the documents, every single project for which we've taken a loan, and record not that Parliament. And maybe you know, some media for more checks, more some research to more Namofa, a female breast of Miss in 7th January. Bosia Ajin take it and research it. Could be Yakase, yes, our project. Nakosha say a new project now, and I say, yeah. It's the work of the media. And it's a media can say, and people can say, Maji Bosia and Yunia Mudia. The media is to inform, into also take the research and go and look at Bosia and Ajin and go to where Yakase, yes, and Newman, Nakosha say, and Newman and Kosana. And that one I leave it to you.
Alright, busa for ebe mu nyina akwa baby mu say he call ekotwam kakra bi na nkobo ekoso wo studio inside no Taliban's no around and they are expect the space of this abusa for GP1 herbal beverage mamenka former say GBC pa na immune system no etimi abusu na ma na ebesa huru mogya mu so amaka makama say arthritis ewo so abacho koda kwa GP1 herbal beverage who bet me at papa and a prostitute so we be man a prostitute how am pacho kona kwa di GP1 heba beverage omo baby UK or more Germany almost US so Canada as also for omo ewo omo kumase one crime Ghana baby biara no obetimi afre 0244934143 0244934143 na wakwa di GP1 heba beverage GP1 heba beverage na ebusafo say there are some unscrupulous persons bia on modern social media mako create Facebook account ama Franco trading for but I'm very careful. Franco trading for no of what it but more authentic one day or more than 100,000 likes. And two connected Franco trading for say likes in the 2,900 be about forget or more fake for it's about make for Ama say should there more than 100,000 likes no. You know any year Franco trading for Adia Ankasa and I'll bet me aquam website no so francotrading.com francotrading.com I want to call it your telephone number pepper pan ever honomo or telephone number is 0558 106241 0558 106241 and 0302 225651 Franco Trading Enterprise was still phone papa fee phone papa fee na pacho new event center bi aba new event center bi aba papa ewo East Legon eben Erata Hotel fen Stone View Event Center pacho live band bi Stone View and there's a pese we program aware geo de word bi apeso ye bia no pacho oko Stone View Event Center ewo East Legon Lagos Avenue Honma pacho the biggest hangout sports and events place in town enti mekanfo edi amount na yeto ye nkomo no so na para me kan sem bi say finance ministry anopana me kan enwembe sense so kakra bi na mesre abobi be kawa papa je ne kan wo se no frantoma abobi be san kawa we say no san hye wo mpaboa wo abobi be kawa na say no san hye wo che Mr. Finance Minister Ora Kenufurata pa one penny num na won hwe nipa be enum bi so e wo finance ministry ho no omuni omachi so bo anop omo po adwuma nwumera he fa no kokodi omo nkomo omuni omachi no mo hwe omo amonom ye business opposition members omo ye business omuni omachi kwa to the extent say omo hwe say okase and the member ni mi fie na obu kodi holidays bia why fie na ya omukọ enti se na be bobana finance minister mudi nkobo na apie wo kawe ni accountant kan ni accountant abobi beka wa na wo hye wontoma ufra wontoma na hye ntoma sa hye wo che hye wo mpaboa enti me de bisi e hormo no na achim dan so sorry swadru achim swadru my whole statement be a fly about my nipa be me se bi omudi wo so papo me from obi ase de se bia enhya ase omu twa tro to panimu bi so e wo krom ha mesre achim so drum mrantie monye careful obi di musikan kutudwa nam bi a monwe mo so ko school ni bi muni mu atwro so mo pesa mo tro aka mba tro ma de oro min ka asem no me no controller general and na we are so be our aspirations you see na we are so be our aspirations yiti wey hopes it wey wouldn't the that of person be every ko beka say that yes every ko that hopes beka say upon your flag bearer wo pe possible because times and seasons it is obi at the controller obi a controller na just we na brabo necessary was say okay that be person be member of parliament MP seat be na you obi fie dia no what the controller we dia tane asu ni MP ni enye say me hwa wo mo tro no kwa me no mbu edi ko no almost nye wo mo you see when you na create needless disaffection this animal no nti munye careful kakra if you are saying America do be on aspirations unni aspiration na tra ofie no be so one aspirations e osabema ma honorable kwale so man kwa yini nkumo e so osabema make a chance how the buffets and shakers are here Mr. Pem Patrol baby able to be ano
very deep
Patrol cause we do hini na yi wani na I say if you be any why controller Mr. Pem yama wajo and
we're very intelligent.
Yes. You see, on baby moda kwa fakra. Muba na buaka musim. Wallace.
Yeah, Gordon.
Randy.
Ebenezer.
The
Media baby.
Who were hatch kakra.
And them say last week me femo now ni ha.
Sao?
Last week. I say
Papa late.
Last week I me be fa kakra.
Oba late. Oh. Yes.
Oh, say this year the na him say a party.
And it's operation for the man we can manage. What time for kwenye yi?
Debbie. Say nuntina. Pen for say. Ade no. O ka ho na ye hihya eye. Ade a menim ne say a party no. O he calendar na. Busiest year pa eye. Say year ya ye because you are two abano from polling station. About be electoral area coordinators, constituency executives, about regional elections. Say a campaign for Mona Ebe Money Party no at the national level. A very important elections na
okay.
Na so far, ohe party pen for ya na mene woka say vetting results ne so aba. Ya certify party for omo na metimi aka the pay say vetting committee amomo green light to stand. There fe wo mu ne say uhemu ampanimfo a omo nyina party amomo green light nyina obi asefata. We a family contest. Nti adesera me de ma menuanom a omo si agan na say contest no say mo ma ye nto ya no na reka wo ensem bi a sebi betimi di ntiti mu kase aba after the elections no nti eno de yafutuo afutuo ni titru wo hwe eye general secretaryship ona
okay ma me bodi ni nyina
yes e bebo apa ye chairmanship no
yes ya ko ha nko a
do de enko chairmanship ni aba general secretary
okay mate enti ene na MPP press statement on the Babontin was say the National Elections Committee of the New Patriotic Party, chaired by Mr. Peter McMenu, after extensive discussions with the prospective candidates and the interrogation of their documents, have recommended the following persons to participate in the upcoming national officers elections slated for 15th to 17th July 2022 at the Accra Sports Stadium in the Greater Accra. The list is in no special order.
Yes.
Okay. It's the chairperson.
No cherehoni you.
Was say
it's in no special order no, because me who propaganda be a name mo say oh at the end ya sorti at the end wi nti no mo amaka na grobi na modi. Ti hono cheremu ye.
Na we ko gidi said na you so wo kwaji sa asem we die ya. And you are disqualified from being a delegate.
Doctors will room has a propaganda mo gidi.
I na we and me nyam na message
on who delegate bia or the ballot paper abafie da ho
and me judge
akwa to about stadium the ballot paper 2010 or the ballot paper ne bafi
and MP kwa export MP kwa export ballot
ya the man na or the shey ni bottom no the buy
dam MP kwa send ballot ba me nyam na message
there was education ne call
nyam me education mo nkopɛ mo ayi na mo nyam na me
ya kire bo
odru so an waka the list is
ballot
chairperson Joseph Ayikwe Otu, Stephen Ayensu Intim, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, George Kwabena Bankwa Yeboah, Professor Christopher Mia Ekunfi, Akwesi Oseje, Gifty Amma Santua Aye, and then Davia Manono, Davia Mani Gifty Amma Santua Aye.
Yes,
and na Same Crab
Jinem. Kai.
Or them. And they were no. vice chairpersons Rita Talata Sobayre,
Yes.
no Osu Kenwood E, Kirsten Akumin Kisi, Derek Kwakun Kansa, Michael Owariwadie, Mark Jewels J. Annan, Ishmael Yahuza, Dankwa Smith Buti, Edmond Pepra, Alaji Masawood Osman, General Secretary, John Buadu, Justice Kodua Frempong, Idrisu Musa, Frederick Opariansa, Charles Bisu, Ramsia Ahmed Ajiman Prempe, Treasurer, Collins Nyama, Ramsia Ahmed Ajiman Prempe,
Yes.
Treasurer, Collins Nyama, Dr. Charles Jamina, Yusuf Tedam, Ellen Mary Pos Udru, and organizer Henry Nana Boache, Daniel Ni Kwate Tatos Glover, Erica Mwakuchum, Bright Esifi Kumi, Seth Eduaje, Nana Ousu Fojo. Eti omo eso edie enono.
Nasara.
Yes.
Nasara.
Na me lesi de aka we.
Women's wing. Women's wing.
Meba obia card na we na.
Women's wing.
Obia ka women's wing na we. Ma me shade.
Za. Mefo kejifua elena madanso. Na Sauda.
Western region.
Saudatu. Haja Saudatu.
Sa. Okay, I'm saying no leave say. Ma me women's organizer Kate Jemfua, Ellen Amadeku, Hajia Saudatu Said, youth organizer Abanga Obiabedi di Peche Abanga Fusani Yakubu, Salam Muhammad Mustafa, Prince Kamal Guma, Michael Oseboatin, Pope on the basis Nasser coordinator, Abdul Aziz Haruna Futa. Na Abdul Aziz Haruna Futa, what has of folk? Nasser was born no pa or ba Nasser no wajan moto.
Futa.
Futa.
Oh, very affable.
Oh yeah, no quadi can't take it away from me. Yes. Isaka Mweza Kunata, Awal Muhammad. Awal Muhammad. Why? Wow. And Suleimana Alasan Ataku, Abdul Rahman Diallo, Haruna Ishmael, Haruna Mega de no. Tete Mega nana.
Debbie. Okay. Mega de so no cry de nebani Ali Mega.
Okay. And I was saying two prospective aspirants for the position of National Women Organizer and National Youth Organizer, that is Abna Osebunsu and Klinsman Kakari Mensa Tumfo, respectively, have rescinded their decisions to contest. The Electoral Commission of Ghana will supervise balloting for position on the ballot paper on Monday, 27th June 2020 at 10 a.m. prompt. Aspirants are to come on their own or their dedicated agents. The venue will be at the national headquarters at Salam Down, Evans Nimako, and a sign is RDB.
Yo, Gordon. Mame, bo party no nyina abaso. Nukreni, ya de MPP for ya de. Ohemu a afi de your political party be born abaso ewo man we mu a ye New Patriotic Party. Esanse yen na ye na mo apaso. Ye to aba. About also so the she share enough especially internal arrangements no na enough we can we now we can we so I say nyina yetimi sa e kan bom na ye ko fight your opponent ye NDC nti metimi aka said yakoso nyina ye nti sese bi obi hu aka e wo ba bia true polling station e ba besi ba bia yadri nti na meka say ye mo ye nyina ye ho abaso was anti ase na ye nya no na national officers no ye ni da won so ye ni da won so ne say wo utwa ni ti a de aka ye ho ma leadership decides everything everything nti ye be hye party no a ye gitum say party na ho den no e wo base no because ho ne yesesa emma no. And politics is about numbers. Into number when you joke with the numbers, a backward yaw. They say into no penny for at the upper level, bet me a coordinated base. na saa mpanimfoɔ no ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmo yɛ mpanimfoɔ a adwuma a yɛde bɛhyɛ wɔn nsa no ɔmo nim adwuma no ani so ɛyɛ very important. Mesrɛ mu last week na mete ha ɛka about monetization of internal democracy sɛ ɛnyɛ papa. But Gordon, me see why you're careful. Who will a time will come. Drag barons, a be presidential candidate. And the person will win.
What is the best?
And they will determine even who should sit in parliament.
What is the best way out?
The best way out, and they say, Nyamia my conscience. So at the end of the day, you say, Sebi yemfa bedwafo nyenkwa yegitum se nipa wato nsa from bianka okọ adwuma ena wagya sa productive time ne se wo de betie wasem ne se nti no ene bibi kakra se je na enye kesika eno no ye bibi kakra
that's the beginning of the whole problem. The moment bibi kakra relative chief. What is Bibi Kakra?
Bibi Kakra, meba.
Meba. Chief,
meba.
Watch your boy.
Yes.
The boarding. We won't talk inferior things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you know, the board no cagas on. We said that the board said that. But I can tell you, obedient to who is away, expensive. At the war, we a teacher now contest it. We a teacher now contest it. Bibi Kakra no 20 cities mount. Now, may be a timber merchant. Me blasted query. Me so 1,000 bibi kakra ma me.
Ya to ka bo mu a ya na ya stick ne yen den. Ya the distance. Ena tutu bo meba. Se meba ya frame meeting. E wa salam down. Na hopes into kokomlimli. Na hopes in ba na woman 1,000 Ghana or 500 Ghana. You are corrupting hopes in.
Ba woman is na ebeboa.
E wa say wo check kasika no. Etian fa ne say 20 cedi. So the Uber never buy no man 50 cedi.
Now what na woman is what na would ya camp man. We delegate
and you let me so their chair. Say party ne would to their chair.
See, identify na say because
no, but so the point is that
yes.
Point I mean making is say one who say monocracy ya ye nyina ye gitum say enye papa no. Say betimi a year free hwa. There ought to be whip system and no yetime the threshold be to ho. So even if you spend more than this, you are disqualified. No, meba. Obi be catch me say, okay, any sika no kra no, me the bema be o sabere ma na woni nkrofo akodilia ma me name free me what already. And no na a chance say if you put monetary team in place, na omo pick intelligence who say ampa, it has been established. Say Gordon, na science in way and or this sika nam ne so a or to induce delegates, Gordon is disqualified. Look at advanced democracies. They don't even think about say maybe a election me
because they don't pay obi transportation. They don't. The moment you know chief MPP for bebre mafia juma ye won go foot don't be surprised. Obesha that catch say ye hu say Hobson assigns at this kakoma will be just to disqualify Hobson.
Gordon.
And go for better you.
Gordon, me say.
Me dear.
And until there's been two schools of thought. A bit more suggested say, and can state in the crown funded political parties.
I would never support it.
No, you see, a debate. A two schools. A BC, I was a state in the funding, a business there be young fast state in this can share political activities. But at the end of the day, all share pros and cons. In terms of cost benefit analysis, Ube hunu say, Omo for my nisi kado do na no say bin panifo si obi kurawofu a okura wadwene. The very people almost sponsor nkrofo no. Omo ana akire say ye che national cake na do do na kom ho. Odio kasasema make me boa. Enti ne nyina ya ba beti ase say ye pese ye cable corruption na. Sa niema ni nyina ya do say minimize no. Na ye be den na yate so. E wo se ye gitum say yemfa mechanism bi ento ho. Na yenhwe hunu say ade we ya ye de agu ho yi die. It will be difficult say nipa do na be abuse no. But if they are not laid down a procedure bia and rules of engagement, what do you go say kwan be na be fa so a be fight is monetization of democracy in this country. E be a problem. You be chance
constituency na delegates ne say.
The Okase delegates as in
primary
700 and increase in fancy 700.
But imagine say enka delegates net me intima increase no to be about 3,000.
Yes.
And now 5,000.
Yes.
Do you think say scan kofu treat you no me treat say scan sir?
No, what you are saying is say NDC ko ye bi. E mo do mo say go muti.
They don't.
No, on say first, yes say na even war system ne kra ho no. Na chairman ne kwa ne mo to aba. Me kai e wo me ho, me kai even legon ne ade. Aba na ye koto ni nyina na chairman for na eto. Enu achi no empenfo ka say o da bi yem biem. Je na be ye 5 what ye breni. And that was proposed even from His Excellency the President of the Republic. Okaya ma nipa do na from NG koto aba. Now, ye hunu say 5 no so ba ye no. Still budget ni balloon. NDC for say oh okay, MPP for their call 5 in say there omo de no ye pa anto omo ye so omo be ya try no omo ko bie mu branch o nipa 9 afi no omo okem because so omo ba baby adon baba be go bia no case can obetua
na 5,000 there you dare not pay.
No, 5, so you see move no some of them just one man one vote no and no ena nipa bi so suggest
yes
say ye bia mu dia ena ye nya no card bearer member
said America no
so that ye mfa caveat bia meto in terms of numbers and so but what I'm saying is say ye nyandru ho say ye ketu say ye kesi o the idea say one mami sika men to aba man no and na person ye nyifan free ho because godin say ekoba say ya reserve positions no for highest bidders there and na your problem ayen you
Mr. Reggie bi oboko to baba omo hye say on be 10 o'clock no beto abai no obi a hye dem is it 10 o'clock o abo 1 no obi abie adan a you say omo nka hwe
say ade no say edu ba be kra yen tete odie we person o say we tua say to bo otime de keto bi beto
I said that
to the two one no test o nti wo de two say akwa no wetimi anko no mate asi na chi wani be ba ho so nipa ba kwa bag membo figure wa ha
yes
na special prosecutor frame me but so bag ade no de call but you ask yourself say democracy for sale a more dangerous weapon than anything because a time will come me say omo ma boss go mu obi enti omo wo to do omo wo makola kejetia e man no won no ma boss mu won ne be determine say ye pese papa we otena parliament because you who said the adru no you can use money to influence the system, you can use money to even buy mandate of the people and no idea o say atwen adwene so say any kwase so any kwase so yes and I make us see a system na nkasa no social setting no we are being corrupted with certain sayings say yemfa abedwafo onye nkwa entade na ye de awo yen no ntino abedwafo nya tena ase whether committee form ana say ya yes say ontimi mfa mpanifo metena ha na mehwe ya enko
antifa abedwafo onye nkwa
so from one set no ya de bibi se otiri mu say e wo say wo to nsuo ma wo now ensati enyepe obi ane na ho odi obi ho naturally we a politician za na nyame bo no say ye manage resources ye manage nipa but enkrofo business yi ebia no cross idea no ni bi enti no mo ye business people no mo so de no ho odi no wa ye adwuma wo ska but akwakodru say ye shift goalpost no to extend say ye the party to me no mo ye adwuma omo wo sika dia ene ye sa gitum say sandi pana de kwakoma no ni party hu nim de o sanim de no enye ho no so nya ne talent ni ho so at the end of the day no say ye to abama obi na nipa no say na ye to ma no ye hu no ena nipa no kra no o hu no so ena ne kasa anya ye de What who hear ni awoko to scan for da?
So what can was nya sanka.
Enka wonye ska. What who said that the anything? Enti no nipa na wo de to me na ma no kra wo ntimi nka na sem. Because ono no wa adwene bi say odenisika ene to wo. Enti na me say let's use our conscience. Because God in beba of akwabna kwache beba. Osabere ma beba. Obia no beba ba be di nkita ho. Yemfa no say obia hoden ne nyepe. Obi bet mama obi 1,000 Ghana. Obi be ma 100 cedis. At the end of the day, what you obia ho bibi. But use your conscience. And ya wadwene say when the tua kase enti no, ho na wo koto abanako. Wa abra ni pan kra wanya ade. Me ho na me pese yenya ho ntiase. So that obi ekra kotua sika kase bi a obadwene wa unu say nkrofo no enye o sika kase no no mo de beto ama wo. Nemo is about message any sabi demonstration over the years. What demonstrate our party nim and it will conduct over the years. And no more who say papa we your office we manna obetima aye adwuma no. Office like national organizer there. Operations in nya one the krano. Na national organizer no o kwa koyi obi a. E won so wo yi obi a. The party say we dey hungry for power. How no say with the yastic. It's not about you one's ability to pay. No, especially special wings of our party. Why nya obia sabi utimi use a way of person making mark. Because mind you, we are in government. The obia obabe so adie nimbia no. Se ne nia brain up person making marker. And say obeboye amaya across and I say you break it no. Anything short of that no. And we hear so the nipan beba. Because obi oha or fan say oh after all me kona anye ye kra na mesa be twantra kire party for no say oh na say Ghana the aiding okay since 1994 ushered ourselves into a multi-party democracy no 92 you call 88 into no any ye kra no ye dia kobo so na anye ye dia monte yase enye san komo no ne peti o dabi yes enti hwan mo na betima be make sa mark no eno ni ade o se atwen adwene si so and ya anya careful na ye no te said ye sa enkomo e koso wo fom ho obi kasakra na omo hwe omo time ne krakra oti electoral area bi constituency bi ye ne krakra na woni se sa ne krakra na wo je no uboto mu ye de na wani ji sa time we no gitum se su ta akiri
ne krakra ne sen
eno language omuti so omuti omuti language na make no so yeah, quality system not to extend say and it's no more about sacrifice. It's no about long service. It's no more about a commitment and dedication to the cause of the party. Ababa Bejina say highest bidder Gauta Ganama. Wow, bet me a tia only a mandate in no. No, and only idea or say my nibre. Now you fight against. And yet a young one common I may communicate this evening. No be aka say oh si baby or one ka on kanisa. No. The bottom line is say si epesi sanitize and democracy. Na yenya empanimfo a omo be manage processes no to extend say obi enkok ba say may call election. Look at regional chairman. Regional chairmanship position. Yes. Yentua omoka. No obi timi tua sika ma wa timi say we dey we tua am wa timi say delegate na me a. Then you ask yourself say okofes ka no way.
Cause yeah, what come bed no.
I said it obe pesi kana shem.
Yes.
You know, there's no free lunch. Sometimes just look at them and say, now would the na mo the pressure to crofo ma so mo nko pedwetri emechema wo no. Enti we are not ho. No, obe pesi kana shem. Obe pesi kana shem.
For me the time I do say MPP for be bia de no say every card bearing member of the party. I will say what to aba.
And no. Was all the Nyama be go akwe. Who here credible database. And so no ako be sebi.
Sadi no.
Watch
it. No money.
But I was out because Gordon, why you careful now could be
da bia wa anye time na so omunye careful munye ntem
Gordon in my brand bi wa ha e okromo ha ono party bia card
me na sa
me
who party chairman I want to aba man the party da
no so
ya no so e wende
but what I'm saying is without data untimi nko biemu saa yenya ne saa
data no
because any pan on commitment bia whether na kwaka say o may leader man
you can't have data on commitment.
No, what I'm saying is
you don't have any
no if you want to embark on membership driver, what do? You set up a database. One, at the end of the will be a party ni beyond the identity card. I was say otimi your commitment be in the form of dues near the other.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Meeting attendance. Yes. And you know what I'm saying is a whole project I was say ye percent 2026 and implement this at the now. And now say forthcoming flag bearership race and your person ye de you start the processing now.
Asma make no.
You start the processing now. Ni identify sa de ni nyina. Because anya careful na prekope ukoko biemu a me say any engrofo bi be kire who leads your party.
Man aye who say and see engrofo say NDC for year bi na ekoye say MPP nya NDC. There's a difference even though munya political parties no. But mon start na anyway.
David Gordon, and I'm sure say
you.
No, what it's a good suggestion. Honestly, because you can do but what I'm saying is
700 people.
Yes.
Share.
Yes.
Ubanyes can be maybe when this was a cow best sponsor the Bama. The bunny overly incompetent. What best sponsor more baby winnie.
Yes.
Next can you when you can now we're competent. What will lose? But a could do deeper 5,000. Constituency Bubanian depart 10,000. Cadbury members 10,000. Oh, fire could be 1,000 cities.
Very well. Your popularity will get you there. And no, the no, you're going 100%. Say system, the current system, no, na yejitum say, and Crawford amana yedin even to run a parliamentary primaries.
Yes,
dear, and now say be a constituency executive election, dear. And ye na yenjitum say, obi awasa and when say NPP party no na me pe, me share their aspirations, me share omo ideology, me share omo philosophy, and into omo na me no omo betina. Ya manipa no ID card, nipa no ya committee no into officer or to dues. Ya ye gitum say wo ye party of good standing.
Committees.
Ye yim penifo a ye man kwan na ye onyi bi. Enya no nkrofo bi so have also suggested. I think a majority leader any Minu Apenyi Dr. Matupoko Prempe. They first suggested say, look, a time has come I was say ye advanced democracies need the any business. He said, oh, Gordon, and maybe a EU member of parliament for mention offer. Ye you answer. Ye you are now what you executives. To say be a constituency chairman, no one. Ah, et you call election and now lose one executives in Namoko. So that Uncle say executives no. Be a more anyone winning announced them.
Because examples was a MP candidates
of course.
Executive
I am mobile under my nose. Exactly. And the same procedure now. So to say be a flag bearership. Why you be you? Young fan say
a bottom up beam.
Chairman Kennedy or Hine Japan. And now or your next flag bearer of a party. No bar. Nanko in national chairman. Uti were you secretary, were you offices in no mako prosecuting campaign. It was the Cobosona and the Munina at the Munina, Tiabasana, the own allegiance to him.
Okay, so let us win.
And in a discipline no be pure because when he say or no kwana moto more baby.
Okay, well,
so until I you know and some actually discussions in our ecoso. But what I'm saying is say Nina Kemfuano. Mama Yam sika no.
Obviously, you're ready never time.
And free ye trim. And not dear. A foot to me the beman. Oh, na fame. I mean, make it
1 minute.
1 minute. A case for communicators.
Yes.
Where I know be seven penfoni because and party communicators no man communicate mama NDC for na sebi be omo dictative pace ni ade no cre back up. There's a clear difference in communicating whilst you are in government and when you are in opposition.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone who knows how they na opposition no na nya nsam na na de bubu nkrofo no de wo mo ne say ebibre mu ha no ye de soa ye se ye de jawa ne de asoa se wo wa ban mu a wo kasa kura na obi kura timi fa ahotan keke ade ba ko ame hu no na two
dressing kura
eno kura timi mo obi enya ho asem ka
wo ye bo just this
but as a 1% microphone after program microphone cut at me because what can watch ho asem so the picture that's one side there by you know coat of arms you know why you careful I don't be quite got me how to and to bomb me me ma wa hands na me
na will be a hu no
oh eti Gordon me pamocho communicators no they are doing their best.
Yes.
Resources be or why was say the man wo mo and no need do so much o madwene so because yeah the any problem host into or no abe using the resources me using my resources. I've communicated for this party for more than 20 years. I started as a social commentator. But what I'm saying is say yeah mumbu boys in Ranti and Abem because they are doing their best. They are doing their best. And you know, most are mono sabi most of them won him the nyansa no. Assistance ben amoso mo dem ma wo mo.
Yeah.
And beyond so no coordination is saying because say minister and then a deputy. Mo antimi a reconcile statement amodeba. Na mo conflicting reporter.
Communicator ben.
Enti communicator ben. DC okoka say your friend no say assembly members. Person who I was say koka cho mo say mewu. Enti me communicator. I sit in this very studio. Sa same way. Obe communicating is saying.
Oh, there be one can sa no was in the bibi na ewu.
E wa na ya bo video no. What am I saying no? Now what? So you see, a new man getting kitty be yes. So we a minister. Now so these are some of the things almost so NTA no boy. Agencies say so no omo ti watch do. Information be you see, if you fail to communicate, the people will communicate for you. And no idea me hun. Say what say won ko kan wasem. Amanfo be kan wasem mama. Enu nti no mama ntina ho. Emma communication no nko yet say ye volunteer as ade akra dey mo obi ama na kan ye ya. Na say scandal ko pie dia. Eni o wa na ya fro anajo. Ne mumra na mo mepra prechiri.
Honorable Kwalizoza Makwa, former member of Parliament for Mensia Den. Na ha Mensia no. Mensia TV. Anti Agiba. Na aka 15 minutes o.
O de me fa kitu abi.
Now I will say
me fa kitu abi.
Okay.
Me fa kitu abi.
Martin.
Ne di kan Gordon. Ene me da sorry ejamanti asempa o me fie.
Oh what dey?
Masse ne mame afrim.
What's the mame?
Eye agaga.
What's the mame?
So ni masi.
They said the generation upon generation.
That's right.
It's a celebration of life.
Wadi 90 years anaja wafru. Eti yabema busuafo ni na yakọ. Na yanim se Nyankopon beka wo mo ho ama bibia atoto ye. Gordon. Asamu ayidi twa ato kra no.
Communication.
Esan se yindi. Me ka asaka wa habiem. Me ye won krofo kakra wa ban mu a. Asem to omo a madakra me sori akwa defend omo.
Precisely.
There was some of them read my lips. Oh. Yeah. What the mama nko menim bebre. Mama nko menim bebre. Hwe. Yen church for. Yen cha me mama so. Ya mama, minka ya mama. Ya mama joy say.
Wa qualify.
Ya chiano. Meka nsemienu pa ni eko. A year ken national elections. Gordon. After this conference, we are new executives no omonhwe na yen konkoye amendment. Senior polling station for to the highest level elections. Womoto abayi presidential candidate no. Yen amende na polling station for ento from the ground to the top.
Adomuntu nyina.
Womuntu bi. National elections womuntu bi. Police station for two constituency no more to parliamentary and a presidential. Region national womuntu bi. Adentina yema womuntu bi. So we need to amend the
omuntu presidential.
Na go womuntu bi anke e akotena Accra Stadium. Mpo bia to the constituency ni akoleti. E don so no minimize sa ye kan say monetization.
Omuntu presidential.
Omuntu parliamentary. No more to constituency. What you say? Region national no ya you omofrim. So we need to amend the constitution.
Oh, yeah, normally.
Now you're making sure. Etiabasa na ye nyina ye nko congregate wo baby fa akubiem. What you say? So eka over 200,000 people. Babe to abayi presidential candidate no. The same people who vote from the ground to the top.
Yeah, I think that's how they say.
Etiabasa na aja bibin kitingiti mekai 2016. The presidential candidates omufana ya omuma TNT kakra me say President Kufuor de betua kese pa
sara mo kai
e bae no omo bia 20 Ghana I don't be say 20 they say show and I'm say fat time say over that time over 160,000 over 160,000 fat time say na sika no say
say yes
you can't be above near Toma you be just sika na so that you know a basana a minimizing kakra.
Yes.
That's a nepa. Now obiti tama yi. Papa no Tiana. So I mean say you know yetimi yes amendment na ebeboa. Na yede ebeka e brother no hinin to e general secretary every day Monday to Friday o office akwakoto no. Sir John Beye General Secretary Monday to Friday o office abeto no. Kobreja po Beye General Secretary Monday to Friday o office abeto no. Asi ho.
Okay.
Eti ehwe ni abode no kwakosi office ho a Monday to Friday o kwakoto no. Media meet maka ho.
Ba wujiri se hwan
na say okum kom na eko. Okay. Na there is Israel. Okum kom na eko. Nobody can go SSO. What the upper to Punum Nama Yentra stadium na abonting. Still Okunkom win. Machination Seko, chairman of accreditation committee, Yana, Shena Crofo, Yanko, and Shena, Yebe Tia, make us some media. Moya Casamana Moya. Yanko is satisfied boys in your more accreditation on Fogo, near Bovidia, no more body. So, ye, no, Nkosia. Oh, what dear, last week, 2 days, didn't sound better abonting. Ene yeda sorry ya emrante bi okrom ho mo de omo se ye twa tra to nipa so a ye nhwe yachi se wo ha ne se president ni nua wakotam presidential jet ano wode nam hwem ana wo di oginani
so mo de kwa shopping no
wo so mo de kwa shopping wo mutu no mo de akoto lunch landing no mo be di
mo ko wa che wo ha
hey yes president nua Bumpty Anna chese wo use presidential jet to sade. Hey, nipa say oh no, why there was evidence. Emrantie na bi, na ye me ya say wo makosa ahohia hia yi mu. Papa ni say, "Hey, edi say ye de ya me court. Mu wo ye kan say evidence no. Eti mu fa match record. So mu de ko bobo so a hey. Emrantie na da form kunkrun. Court abu asem no. Edia Bumpty. Why more damage of 10 million Ghana cedis?
Why mono?
Can it is 100 billion? Now, me trust studio has a catcher. Bra Bumpty say. Sasam with the uncle no Jessica, no do on Pecrana. Maybe or Honum. Many Adumaku Befi. Of a Bumpty. Yankupa Dum. A bay. Adumaku Befi. Say, you're not your opposition. Bumpty, may you show.
Now, I want my cat. Why more?
I list to it. Anna Crass FM Ankasa as a entity. Anna Bobie answer.
Oh,
then Mensa Thompson as a pub boss. Sanko for any media house. 10 million Ghana cedis, which is Kanititi Sikano 100 billion.
Abano mukasa asem na no kwere beto abontin. I don't want ko pache.
I say na so mo say
ba say the ba ka ko pache wi a na ka court asem kwa ke.
Enu ni asem yi. Enu ni asem yi.
Say nyina time etimi to ye.
Etimi to ye. Na bra bi me be ka ayi bi wa say na indum atwa me ba ko me di America me say
yes.
We dey frɛ indum na ye mpa ne che.
Sanity.
Na se se frɛ ayi Colon the office. Why ni lawyer ba. Me say you dey pa chew. Eja document na me nya ye no.
Ebia wa te da
ana me kan ye. Say ma hu se ntisa etuwe de. Me sra mo mama me nsa so. Me kokko frɛ PPP chairman. Wa dey me pa chew. Hwɛ. Me afa me 10 million Ghana cedis. Me kofa no he. Se nyankopo adom na se ye nua bomti anya. Oh, adoma go ba fi hwɛ na ye nkosra bomti ni ye nkochia no. Because ye share no crime pa say asemu die oni ma no konkosi akire na ohia eja ye benya title wom nyankopo adom aba bedru santi ye behwe ne medi wiama menu abam National Cathedral hwe Godin won say yama abrante efre no kudweto abrafa chese yama no kwan ma osore a oboni tim no de figure bia to abonten a eno ano no ne agya no ho saa chese yen hodu no to ene ayi bia eno ane se wote ho no mu anu aboni tim oh ya high praise discourse ne agya no no okọ oh cathedral ya yesei ne agya no ne ekọ officials at the figures no beto abonten na se nye saa dia and necessary yes for no obi ati parliament we are honorable member honorable member speaks to fact ana parliament wo me nko hodo ayi operations una watna parliament be 2-3 times it's a house of records it is a we are parliamentarian na wo kasa you speak to facts want to mean in parliament house and your press conference and fictitious figures and mamma to abonting. I feel original a year, I can say official yiba. Near the idea to Honoma will be now Godin media for no more ya disappointing Gano.
Adding,
adding, I said, well, we can be adding.
So would somebody go to say,
some more ya disappointing.
I'm say adding.
Honorable member speaking. You can say talking, giving fictitious figures in the gaga. Say Papa no better what finance minister about the figures about better one. O could you to abrakwa the end baby? Dear, and a more media for no. My dear, my ma colonel to order. Oh, so you put to street proof. My yes, I don't know.
I made a binyame put into street proof.
More Message chapter 90 of 1992 Constitution. Ya dedicate amamu. Mo yesa ebeje yade o. Mo yesa ebeje yade.
Yes, e ka ho ne e ma ye ho.
Ye de na mamu samu fanya aduma. Aduma so amonye. Ada mo ti odo na obi kasa na se bia woti program so na obi woti mu se ABC yo mo de ye aduma. ABC wo ye aduma no na me bisa se okuje to brakwa de na odi aye no
remember me da se pa
de na odi aye no
minya no
wa friend no we say yes wo ka say figure we say na etisen na wo no na wo push no na wo de share no
but hopes it I got 5 minutes and the thing is that
5 minutes mo for 10 minutes in gawo na mo nya de mo
I didn't say a black one a black one na wo ye no for me to some extent I blame him not. I blame the government. Me, that is my point.
Who blame government is saying?
Now who blame government is saying? A black was one I can say. A black was one I can say. No, I buy where you mum. Move on, me. I buy your mum. A black was 30 child draw 1, 2, 3. No more to a day. And right here, Coco draw out to attend the Russell. Immediately, attending to respond. And I'm a boy. A black was 30 church in name basa. I just see me about a friend saying, menu. Akoso me. One put a bit to try there were bontia. Man say encofu. I say, no so dear no.
Winning. Adeba consonant say. Adeba consonant say. I see say a man for be buafu.
She.
One out. She. Gordon. As someone Collins party from 2016 yes communicators every month you be esika dia dia to petrol kakra in opposition Musubi so no more 1,000 I mean senior communicators no mebo that ma make to a year can say fact e dey say na to
okay can
what you say 2018 to now me receive capre from party
as communication person
because no say John Bodo immediate film ma confront no several times obit one mo on radio so enkasa da wo under article 71 party sikani aso ya de aba no no mo de ya ne omope ne ya sorry ne aba betra ha sei godin she 11 aboyo afa na me be kokom 22 mia hwe share he ya adam so omumu ayi engu meka so na enye mapreko me to 300 Ghana ema me 26 liters 26 liters how many gallons and so first no the same car we no na ye filia 120 Ghana 120 Ghana the car kese aba efa be 82 liters those days 180 na ye ma na do ye mi fili ye 1,100 Ghana na ye koba hwe committee 2 every day me ba me jampo me ko na me say mo de mo nyambotre etoda na ye pai yes producer
na say we see so way
producer
we see so we explode the
say yes producer ma obi mbeka say because obi nye odwan obi nye odwan no waje aduma no obi ti baby no odidi just like that ben ka sabe to me boase ma be kwa na me kama adwene my train radio so from 2008 to date without break. What there? Me ma me tie me ntino ma me na botre.
Judgment na ye ka ho asem no. Menya fact na nkasa de say emrant no mo ye 4.
Yeah.
E na ye do mo court. Na Electoral.
Yeah.
E na one court. Eti ruling na by judgment na by no against Electoral. Miensa no de omoda so court any first di bako da so court no eti miensa de say yenu abubi ansa ne do
asepa
na omoda so
omoda de ne de nsi
eti
listo we na nkwa na 10 million hey eti nkwa 10 million
eti enya factual sa na tie say
eti wo bu wi atre no na 10 million
asom de nso mbedi fara so mbedi
bi ayeye
omo de ne nim so mbedi fara so mbedi be ma
aduma ku ba bi ayeye
betase de betozu be ma benediction listo de na 10 million
so we ono menu ano ne
za
na japade eketu e bi na japade eketu
ne mustache na
na japade eketu e 10 million ko fa no
Gordon
yes
na etizei
oh nyame adom yeto ka chakakra ho
Gordon no kre me ba show ni so ache ende se mambe fa ha mechia etiefuo bi a epe atimeka na ebema omore abu nti me maame eye Reverend Dr. Joyce Aye
oh ne se akwa motata e maame do adai
ya mechia wanyu
obi ade ne ho agim
Gordon ebe ye febe ya nwawa se onimnyamfo maame a owanumnyam saa befa ose ne ba ewa echi na oya watu nchia nti maame me wo ho na adekitu abi na de me atenti na nanse muntumi ntemenka ebiem me maame sofu maame ba osumi chia wo enbrei wo sende de mamba asembe tumi nti ende maba eni atiefo a motemenka che nyina na Gordon me de mesre itiawa say party no enhyehyɛ a yɛyɛ ne bibia yɛbɛduru no yɛwɔ baabi a ɛho hia paa wɔ party no ensɛm mu ɛne nanamontuo mu ade baako pɛ na Gordon me de metumi aka na masɛ sɛ wɔn mu gyina a wɔn piri bi ne nyinaa no obiara yɛ party ni obiara so wɔ pepa sɛ ɔbɛsom mingye ndi sɛ obi wɔ botae bɔne bi a ɔpɛ sɛ ɛno nti na ɔde bɛdi party n'anim obiara sɛm ɔka ne sɛ de bɛyɛ a yɛbɛtumi atwam 8 year cycle no a yɛka no pɔtɔm sɛ yɛbɛbreki 8 no yɛbɛsrɛ sɛ aba yɛba bɛto no ɛyɛ expression of ideas ka nea wobɛtumi ayɛ na me so me ka de metumi aye na wo botaye a esi wani so no kobon wo de ru me de ade srede e to wani mu because se ende me support Gordon na me support Osabere ma ene nkyere se me tan Osabere ma nti na me support Gordon and wo de nti a o support obi hwe Gordon papa bi me di obuo na anidie ama ne saa na nipa dodo enim nti a yewura danso oye coordinator obrakwa ankobia zongo
okay
okache mi plain say Banasco me pe wasem se me ba akwankyere bia wasem me de bua obia ma wutumi tu anamo bia obetu bataba ne de mento ma but me koni fie me ko brakwa bia so a make sure say me chia ono ene ne yere oba heli answer me free brakwa he told me on my guidance uni we munkasa ba me ade ma ba de mento ma na mbo me pe wasem se me ba ampa so baby oto aba no wanto ama me and so there is no day ameko brakwa menko solo ho menko abeka ho menko danso ho
eto obi ato aba ma onje so time
dabi Gordon sabe won onupo no wa pe mu aka kire wo na de ebia weso na sene a waboa no akwan bi so a ono so no onka kire wo a obeba beka kire o se meto ama no wanto ama wen eno no so me am student am kire na de am penasem those days I me bobo pa me yimi football boot bia on bia me de che no ma no so de bobi oto abanu ya no ba fie so mato ama
so boa
at the end of the day ye to the electoral areas ye kan na manya zero
ebia
no inti mienu no dia he na obedo no
do catch us want to man
exactly okoto boas the same thing oche o kire me say Banasco me pe wasem pa but me di me camp eso ba bia me mobilizing crofona ma I cannot be angry with them because this time around nyame ya adom na mitumi ko biemu a I may not know ebia be fa saa de oye kire me a still ano me di obuo ne odoma ano na waboa me nti me ka saa sem de asisu say mu a mu hu so bi support obi pe na mo fa chapi a mu di dia me ka koka kire obi say osimesi kwa on support no munyai me say aba ye koto no me wo interest ba ko pe general secretary me supporting Justin Kodua Frimpong as Banasco I support him based on certain things I have read from afar and seen say onya ebebo party no kwan bi so Ora John Bwedu my senior brother at least yenka hwekra na yenka Central Region caucus be Mercy kuma any asimfosu ye share boundaries in all things why ye ne chefa to me it's enough we need a fresh person oba ebema a certain joy bi abanipa mu manipa na kase ampa yenya okumkoma dodo na resonate with him especially say me yebegunu anything na me supporting no enti say me support you bia I don't see why somebody must go and say we class on support you sabe me ko support Kiro Apini me support obi a waye Asante regional youth organizer the biggest base of the party what bobam bebunu ma ye dia di nkunim boom. If he has been able to manage the biggest, baby, winya wabano about 35% of your votes. Every bar, no so person besum. Ewo kwanfo froso so a ebema mbebu na hu se awehyem fofraba party ni mu ahokeka fofraba menya no ne na chemasem me pe bibia ka kire na Justin Kodua Frimpong be ma me aso atie mi a na me supporting na what is wrong. I am not saying say obinya adwuma but I think that this time and era no ye pese ye breaking 8 na Justin Kodua Frimpong betumi aboa me ye breaking 8 no me who why somebody must think say why are you not supporting this it me supporting unipa na anka Justin so nka den obia ni de nti o support obi to me this time ye hear the youth base ni say ye be energizing ye na ye hear bibia ye betumi abo ye ni say osimesi obebunu and we understand ourselves iti mesre na masre mumma ye nyina ye fa odo mumma ye nyina ye fa biakoye mumma ye nyina ye fa ntiase enko abato aye betuimu na bebia wugina bia no wugina ho a gina ho ebo a wonipa said ye betu bewie no odo nka bom biakoye ebetena Gordon mamifa statement 22. The victory of MPP in 2024 is assured, but it is subject to 3 key elections. One. Me judge him. One. The national elections here, baby, number one. If you treat people unfairly, it will have an effect on us in 2024.
Number two.
Parliamentary Prime Minister yebeye next year to come. Akwe be first way to todo, especially executives yebay.
Number 3.
Yanshani here ebedi yenya. Finally, presidential Prime Minister yebeko. Obi bia we pumpum baby a party ni. Se wo ha na mesumi wo ha. Obi ani baby ope. Baby obenya no obedi ni nyina ya boni chidom. Se de mampani gufu akan. Mamu chima no nsi bone. Me endorse obi obebe bia. Menen be yadwuma and I support that call. Yemfa nkabom enya adwuma na party ni fa ntuma pemfra. Ni break 8 na Ghana enkoso.
But that's kwansa and I'm the voice now. One man ye 3-legged no points no say nyame out the same people to maybe 2025. Janema mean say so ni opinion on what me ni ya share no na ye ne lawyer ni ayiko otu as part of the national chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Hopes the avia doye so by the Honorable Collins Usama, former member of parliament for or defending was what is it, John? Now, what better side of our money? That's a wonder why you be there.